Come in, come in. The show's about to begin. Tonight we have an Australian guitar player, musician, singer-songwriter. Matt Burrows is on the YenYorkCity podcast tonight. Get hype and chat. We got Matt Burrows here on YenYorkCity Live. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? This is Jens from YenYorkCity Live, coming to you live from New York City. Like every Monday, we make Mondays special, so you don't hate it. You actually love Mondays, you know, because you have something to look forward to. You have great musicians to go check out for the rest of the week. I feel like I'm low.
You sound good to me.
Sound good? Okay. But I
now you're loud.
Sound too loud. Right.
There you go.
Balance is key. Yeah, because my mic.
How's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I did.
Yeah, we had a great weekend, guys. We actually saw each other and spent some time together this weekend. And Luna actually had an audition with a band.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't see, I did a little behind the scenes. So you guys could check out a little bit of what they sound like. So the band was called One of the Last. One of the Last?
Mm-hmm. One of the Last.
They're from Brooklyn, New York. They're kind of like a metal...
thrash metal.
A little punk. I felt a little punk in there.
Yeah,
a little punk rock.
In there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Cool band.
Yeah, really cool guys. I like the bass player. He has long hair too, and he has like a beard. And he was like he was really getting into it. His hair was flipping all over the place. He was fun. He was a lot of fun. Very Brooklyn, very Brooklyn dude. So yeah, he was a lot of fun. The singer, man, he had some growling.
Music was good. Band was fun. We did a lot of like walking around too and driving around in Brooklyn. We saw a lot of nice new places. At least I tried some new things. My first pizza from Brooklyn Pizza.
You look so small today.
I look small?
Yeah, you look so small today. Like for some reason you look like you're far away, Luna.
I shrunk.
I look bigger. Well, it's okay. I can.
Someone threw me in the wash in the wrong settings in the dryer. I shrunk.
He shrunk in the wash, guys. He shrunk in the wash. So who's in chat right now? Let me see. Let me say hello to you guys. And let me know if you guys know our legendary, amazing guitarist, musician from Australia, Matt Burrows. I know a lot of you guys are excited to see him, and we're like hyped about it.
Moxie, you guy.
Moxie, Sammy, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we got
Big Money Eric, what's up?
Eagle I 7799. Hello.
Angelina sub.
Oh, thank you so much for the sub, girl. I appreciate you. I hope you're feeling well and you had a good weekend. Yeah.
I know Maddie. I know him.
Sammy, the Shred Lord. Yeah, he really is. He really is.
Yeah, we're gonna hear a lot of that today.
So, yeah, he's also gonna tell us a lot about like the new revamp of his band. So he said it was perfect timing because they have new music they're gonna release. So we're gonna be promoting that. We're gonna talk about his bands, his projects, how he started on Twitch, and how he's growing and growing every month on Twitch, and everybody's just loving him and everything he does. So he does a lot of like guitar streams, and he's pretty much an improver, so he does a lot of that on his streams. I really think he's one of the most, like, you could just throw anything at him and he's just like shredding and just going off like Jimi Hendrix type shit, you know? So I'm like really excited to hear what he's gonna play tonight, because he could pretty much play anything.
We're gonna watch him burn his guitar.
Yeah, he's gonna put that guitar on fire, like like Jimmy, right? Jimmy, that's what he sacrificed, his guitar. We're gonna learn about his influences and everything, and yeah, everything he's going to be doing with his band that's, you know, revamping now and has a new single coming out. Thank you so much, Making Money, for that 100 biddies. Thank you so much.
Biddies.
I appreciate you. And so, without further ado, I'm gonna introduce to you guys Mr. Matt Burrows, the Shredder, here on Twitch. He's like the David Gilmour of Twitch, I think. I don't know. You know, I like calling people things and just, well, I don't want to compare him to anything, because he is in his own right, his own legend. And we're gonna show you guys why I say that. So, Matt Burrows, are you ready for me?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Matt Burrows here on YenYorkCity Live. And there he goes.
Hello. I'm fucking red in the face. Jesus. Thank you so much for all the kind words.
Yeah, it's all true, all true. You guys are gonna see why. And so he's gonna shred it right now. He's gonna open it up with one of his songs. I'm not sure. It's kind of a surprise for us too. So go at it, Matt.
Just a bit of back
rip.
track. Let's go.
Let it rip.
I hope so. Go on the right patch. Hold up. I got this, bro.
Type in chat.
Shredded, bro, shredded. All right, Stairway.
Something like that.
Oh my god, he knows how to tease. He knows how to tease, guys. That was like, wow, that melody is like, you went from, was it the great big and the gig in the sky, right? The big,
Yeah, it's
like
some backing track on YouTube. It's got that.
I was
Like
waiting for
Sky
the soulful singer to come out in the background, just screaming with you while you're soloing.
You gotta have it.
Oh my
Right?
god.
It's lacking
That was nice, dude. You got some nice feel in your soloing. Like you can hear your guitar actually sing while it's being played. So
nice,
That
man.
soul,
good.
that real soul that, you know, like a really amazing guitarist could do. Like they become their guitar, you know?
It's well placed.
Thank
You know, you're not overplaying. You know, you're very tasteful parts.
I think a lot
like-
of that's probably the Gilmour thing. To be honest, I've always been drawn more to players that play slow stuff more than like the super fast shred stuff.
That's my favorite dude. David Gilmour or oh my god. I can't
yeah.
even talk about him because I get like I saw him in Madison Square Garden like I could say like 5 years ago in Madison Square Garden, 5th row. OMG. I talked about this with Dutchie.
Damn.
Wow.
5th row, and he did like the spectacular like lights and everything. I was like, a tear came down my eye. I was like, I'm here, I'm living, this is life. Oh my god. And I saw him. I saw Roger Waters in Yankee Stadium when he did the wall, like the whole thing, and it was like the puppet.
Yeah, that looked like that was such epic production on that.
I took my dad because my dad got me into Pink Floyd because that's his favorite band of all time. So like,
Same.
yeah, and like it is. I mean, it's hard to say any other band could really top their whole thing.
Sammy in chat said it's the best thing ever when you see someone smile in spite of themselves because he is just that good. And it's it's funny because like you know a good guitar player when they make you feel what they're playing as opposed to just hearing what they play. You feel what they play. So that's kudos to you, man.
You guys are way too nice.
Yeah, I love it. Like if you are a guitarist and you're feeling it and we could feel it like transmuted from you to like the music to the strings to like the amp just like blasting, and it's like we become whatever it is that we're listening to, the vibrations, and it's just like, I know, it's the feeling that only a true really good guitarist can give you, and you get the goosebumps and everything. That's what David does. That's what David Gilmour does.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
me. He gives me the goosebumps.
She does that.
It's always
to
a
me.
really nice compliment when people say that it's like connected with them. That's the end goal, really. That's what you're striving for. So, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So he is one of your influences.
Oh, he's top of the list.
Yeah.
So my dad got me into guitar, but Gilmour's the reason I like actually started practicing and got really, really keen about it. I had like a teacher show me the Pulse DVD, and I'm currently on my 3rd copy of that DVD because the other 2 I played so many times the discs died.
That's how you know.
Yeah, I fucking love that concert. It's just incredible.
So how old were you when you first started?
Technically 8, but I don't count 8 because I pretty much went to my guitar lessons, put my guitar in the corner, and then didn't touch it for a whole week until my next lesson. But 11 was when I started getting really, really into it. That's when I had like a really good music teacher at school. I joined like a little school band and stuff like that. So 11's when I really got into it and was practicing and actually started to make progress.
You said earlier you played violin.
Yeah.
Was that
I
around the
wanted to play
same time?
guitar- No, way earlier. So I wanted to play guitar way before I wanted to play. Actually never wanted to play violin. I always wanted to play guitar. And then I remember my folks must have gone to the guitar store saying like, our little 5-year-old kid wants to play guitar. And they were like, yeah, no, his hands are too small for any of our guitars. And I was like, no, like he can learn violin. He'll learn like all the music theory and stuff like that.
Because it's a small version of a guitar.
Also, fun fact, I learned none of the music theory.
Oh no.
But yeah, I learned violin for like 3-4 years, I think, something like that. And it was just cats screeching and dying. It was probably not that pleasant. But yeah. So I learned violin for a bit, and I couldn't play a single thing on it now. Like I wouldn't know anything on it. Yeah, that
So
was.
your parents
that was
were
where I
like
started.
glad that you were like more into the guitar because they're like, well, you know, son, the violin it's been good to you, but not good to our ears, or maybe this sounds way better. and then it just became like. So what was the first piece that you learned through and through that you said, Dad, look, I learned this Pink Floyd song, like, and it was the first song you learned, and you were so proud to show your dad, your mom.
I'm actually trying to think what it would have been. There was when I was 11 in year 6, there was so many songs getting thrown at me. It probably would have. I couldn't even tell you, actually. I'm trying to think of what my first song would have been. Like, first song I would have learnt fully. It probably would have been like an Elvis track or something.
Really?
To be honest. It was just whatever my guitar teachers were giving me. I was just a sponge. Whatever they gave me, I'd learn. I didn't really have too many opinions on stuff. Like I liked Floyd, but I didn't really see that as attainable because it didn't sound like you listen to like a Bob Dylan song. It's like that's very clearly a guitar.
Yeah.
Whereas Pink Floyd was kind of like, at that time, I didn't put the dots together. It was just kind of, this music's cool.
So you learned rhythmic first versus soloing in lead.
Yeah, although I'm a shoddy ass rhythm player. I don't really play rhythm super well, but yeah, I definitely started off learning just lots of chords, lots of songs with chords. That was my first thing. Like probably first 2 years was learning chords, and then that's sort of when I got singing, because I would just sing these songs that my teachers would give me because they'd have the lyrics, and I'd be like, oh, I'll learn how to sing that as well, and that was where I got started. That was like probably 2-3 years before I started getting into the actual more electric guitar and learning how to do the solo-y stuff.
So you took lessons?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of really good teachers throughout my time. Where I grew up it's a town called Bega in Australia. We're famous for cheese.
Oh, jeez.
But we have a little music store there that was actually, I think it's still there, but the music store's not there anymore. But it was called Magpie Music, and they had this school of music up the top, and it
Magpie.
just yeah. I just had a bunch of different teachers in there, and I would sort of every 2 years just jump to a different teacher and kind of move around and learn different stuff. I think I have, and then I also studied later on in life, but I started off at that Magpie Music and yeah, learned a lot from a lot of different teachers. In fact, actually, fun fact is the drummer of my band now, his dad was one of my first guitar teachers.
Oh, really?
Nice. So when did you first
Just
start
that small
playing
community
in a band then? Like, when did you say, okay, I want to be in a band now that I know how to play guitar more or less, and I really want to do it in a band?
It's funny, I think I always wanted to get bands going, but I did the solo thing for way longer just because it was easier to rely on myself than other people at the time.
Yeah.
The first couple of bands I got going probably weren't until like late high school when I started getting into a couple of bands. And that was just like 3 pieces I'd throw together and be like, here's the songs, like pretty much drums and bass just to back me up. Like it was very self-indulgent. I would usually take really long extended solos for just flexing.
Well, this is a question then, because you said you don't know which song you learned first in its entirety, or a Pink Floyd song. When did you master Comfortably Numb?
I've never mastered it.
No?
I don't know how to play that
just
song,
noodled
like,
it.
at all. I kind of, like, I know rough patterns because I've heard it so many times. I can kind of, with my ear, go into avenues of it, but I've never actually learnt the original solo. And every time I sit down to learn it note for note, I just can't. I really struggle with that solo. I don't know why.
I see you like just doing all this like shredding and like the other day it was I think it was Foxy Lady or
Possibly.
Fire by Jimi Hendrix, that you were just like annihilating that song with a solo, and I was like, man, this guy could play anything. So that's why I'm like, I know he could play Comfortably Numb. I know he could do all those solos, because if you could do that, like, that's...
I could definitely, I definitely improvise over it. It's one of my favorite things to improvise over, but I couldn't play it note for note. I can do all the first little, like, what's the part?
I think he's being modest, guys. In chat, you've seen him play that song, right? He's being modest, right?
It used to be my raid song. If I ever got like a significant raid, I'd like launch into that song because I knew I could kind of do something decent over it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make you, because that's my favorite song. So
yeah, 100%. I'm always down to play over that. Always.
All right, so awesome. Because I was telling Dutch Rocker, because he was like, he loves Pink Floyd and he loves Comfortably Numb. So I was like, that's the song that before I die, I want to learn how to really play it well, so I can be like, Dad, look at what I can do, and like make him proud finally, because he bought me my first guitar. And
Nice.
And then there was another guitarist that said that his dad said, I would only buy you a guitar if you mastered this and this song. So it's almost like you have, like, when you have dads that have really good taste in music, like our dads, like you almost want to prove to them that you can like master a song that they always wooed about, right? So like for me it's Comfortably Numb. That's why I was like, I know you can do Comfortably Numb, and I know you can like totally like knock it out of the park.
I'm such a bad son with that though. My dad's always told me to learn one song, and I still haven't.
You still haven't.
He really wants me to do Bob Dylan's Dream, and I every time I sit down, I never learn it. I'm so bad. I really need to do it. I had full intentions. I did this folk festival like a few years ago. I had full intentions of learning that song and not telling him and just playing it on my set.
Oh my
Still
god!
didn't.
Drum face
Maybe this is my wake up call. I should go learn it from my dad.
Do it.
Yeah.
Wait a
He's
second.
Face James, the raid.
Oh, raid.
Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. We were just talking about raid songs, so I guess this is the perfect time for you guys to hear the raid song that Mr. Matt Burrows plays for his stream. And we were just talking about it. He's an amazing, amazing shredder, guitarist, singer, songwriter. He's in a band. We're getting to know him more today. If you guys are not familiar with Matt Burrows, please give him a follow, because he's an amazing guitarist, okay? And he's doing big things here on Twitch. And today we're getting to know him more. And yeah, I think he's a David Gilmour of Twitch. Just saying.
No.
He is going to play Comfortably Numb for you guys for the raid. So stick around and have fun, and maybe ask some questions to him, and let us get to know him more. And thank you so much, James, for that raid. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, fam. Drum fam for life over here. We really appreciate everyone coming in and all the
Drum
follows.
fam.
Drum fam. Cherry, thank you for the follow. Casino, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. And so I think we're gonna do it. What do you think, Matt? This is our This is our time. This is your time to shine. Let's go. Matt Burrows. He's gonna play Comfortably Numb. Here. shit. Wow. Oh my God. Guys, I mean, I have no words, but like, how fucking incredible was that? Like, now you guys know. You guys got a taste, and that's a pretty big dose right there. That
You don't
was.
know him? You know him now.
You don't know him? You've been sleeping. You've been sleeping on Matt Burrows, and that's why we're bringing him to you tonight, so you guys can get to know all these epic musicians. And he's also doing a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. And just today, we found out that he's revamping his old band. They're getting back together. Like, they had, like, I guess a break, what did you say? Or it was just, you were just revamping,
Not
ready
so-
for the quarantine and getting out back into the field of live music again.
Well, it's kind of so the band I say originally, it's literally the same band. So we were called Zenith Moon. We formed about probably like nearly 4 years ago now, and we were kind of, I came into it was very classic rock, very Zeppelin-y kind of vibes, and from there we kind of just developed naturally into a different sound. But we've never really been able to shake people calling us classic rock. And also the music we're moving into just didn't feel right sitting under the Zenith Moon name. So we decided to just fully rebrand because we had we got a whole lot of stuff coming out this year, and we thought we'll just do a full rebrand and we're just going to launch as a new band this year. And that's what we're doing.
I like it. So Drumface James was like, brah. Like, can you imagine can you imagine having this dude as your guitarist? Like, seriously, like, you won. So when was your first gig with the band you are now? Like, was it 4 years ago? Do you remember how the first gig went?
Yeah, I remember it very clearly. So I'll tell the story before it because it's kind of cool how I got in the band. So I started off, I was playing around in a blues band with a couple mates that I put together, and we were sort of gigging like 4 to 6 gigs a month sort of thing. And we never had a drummer. We could never find a drummer. So we're always just like grabbing drummers that we could find to come play a gig. Because it was just blues. So it was mostly just fucking sit and shuffle and have a bit of fun with it. And then one of the drummers I got in was the drummer of Just a Leo. And he was actually a mate from back home. I played in a band with him years and years ago. He was in one of my earlier bands. So I got him along, and he sort of saw what I was doing, like how I'd progressed, especially like stage presence wise, because I tend to sort of headbang around a lot and just jump into the audience and all that sort of stuff. And he sort of saw that, and he was like, this was literally a gig where we had like 2 people and they were all just wasted, barely could stand kind of thing. So it was a weird gig, but I think he saw that and he was just like, oh, this guy's just still going for it even though there's no one here. And then a few months after that, he hit me up and said, I've got this band going. Our guitarist has just left. Would you be interested in joining in? I was like, and he sent me a few demos, and I was listening to him like, fuck yeah, I want to join this. This sounds sick. Like, the singer was awesome. The songs were sounding really cool. I was heaps into it. And so I joined up, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. And he's like, all right, cool. Slight thing. We got a gig in a week.
Oh.
And we've got a recital in like 3 weeks. I was like, because we were at uni at the time. Sorry, probably should have said that as well. And I was like, all right. I'm like, how long's the set? How many songs have we got? And he's like, it's about 6 original songs. I'm like, cool. So I just crunched 6 original songs in like a week and then had to perform them. Like, pretty much had one rehearsal and had to jump up in front of people and play them. But it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
That's the best way, though. I feel like that's exciting. Like, it's like, oh, you ready?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Let's do it. Are you ready to really like dive into? Yeah, heck yeah, I'm ready. And that's, I've heard of people that had really successful bands with like tryouts, and they're like, okay, are you ready to tour? You want to go to the next spot where we got this, show and blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, well, if you're gonna do it, right? If you're gonna actually go for it, like, don't be afraid to take that leap. So you're glad that you took that leap. That's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that was a really fun gig too. It was, yeah. And then from there we sort of just played a bunch of other random gigs. But yeah, the first gig was a week of prep and then sort of not knowing what I was doing, but kind of make and do with it anyway. They were super helpful as well. Like, they had charts for all the songs, and like I sat down with the guitarist and he sort of showed me a couple of the riffs that I couldn't figure out by ear, all of that. But yeah, I think it went all right. I don't really remember it too well. I have one video from it, but other than that, I don't remember much of that gig.
Is it on YouTube?
It's not. It's on our. Oh, actually, it's probably not anymore. gonna say it's on our Facebook page, but I think we wiped everything off of our Facebook when we rebranded. So it might be somewhere sort of in the archives. But the fun fact is, the song we saved ended up being the first single we ever released, as Zenith Moon, and the solo I did improvised on that night ended up being the solo I tracked on the actual album.
Oh, sweet.
Because I was sort of like, I need to write a solo because I can't improvise under studio stuff. I suck. I think too much and it just doesn't work.
You so, like, and suck, no. Like in the same sentence, no. Like I feel like
it's like you can go in like multiple avenues. You're like, I don't know which way to go. It's
yeah, it's just I sort of overthink, and then I never get a single take that sounds good. So I always try to write stuff before I go into studio. And I was like, that solo I did on the live gig was pretty cool. So I got him to send me the video, and I just sort of figured that out. I was like, yeah, this'll do. I ended up being sold. Yeah, it was really good. It was like I didn't have to think too much. It was nice. So solo writing's really fun.
Are you doing anything solo? Did you do anything solo like now that you have that break?
Not really. I have intentions to record an EP of like solo music, but it's finding time to sit down and do that because there's so many other things that are sort of taking priority over that. So I'd like to do it.
I think that would be really fun just to see what you come out with because you're so good at improv.
Yeah.
And even if it's just instrumental, and you also have a beautiful voice, which I discovered like maybe 3 weeks ago, because I always, every time I lurk in your channel, I just see you ripping it and like shredding it. But I've heard you sing and I was like, wow, I was like, he can even sing too. Like, forget about it. It's like, you have the whole thing going on now. Like, so now make a song, see what happens. You know, you never know. 'Cause I think a lot of people now are being more creative than ever and being innovative because of, you know, the whole thing with the songs and what can you play, what you can't play. You improv, so you basically just, you're kind of safe in that area, right? Because you improv mostly, so you don't really like play over music. You just kind of like, how are your Twitch streams? How did you start on Twitch, and what kind of streams do you stream?
I started straight out with the improv stuff. It was normally me picking the songs though, because there was like no one there to give me songs. And it was. Wait, sorry.
No. Go ahead. So yeah, it was.
No. You.
Yeah, because
I started.
I'm sorry. No, I wanted to know how you started, like how you started on Twitch and when did you go live and what was like your first stream like on Twitch?
So I started because I had a mate. Shout out to Ben Dewhurst Guitar. He does not stream nearly as much as he should, but he gave me the inspo. It was right at the start of lockdown here in Melbourne. He was like, I got a Twitch channel. I'm gonna go and do some stuff on Twitch. I was like, yeah, cool, I'll swing by. And I stopped by his stream and he was just like, people just giving him some songs and he was just improvising over them. Like, fuck, that looks like a lot of fun. Like, I kind of want a piece of that action. And so I hit him up and I was like, dude, how do you stream? Like, what do I need? What do I get? Like, what are the things I should do? He's like, you need like this, and then set this up, and then all that. And I started upstream. So the first stream was very quiet. There was like pretty much no one there. And that was pretty much the case for like a few months. And then it slowly started to grow. But I started off straight away wanting to do improv over tracks, and that was pretty much my shtick. Now I'm sort of trying to think of different avenues to break away from that, because I have been doing it for like a year now. So I don't want to get too sort of tired.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what to do.
I feel like everything you're doing right now is pretty awesome, because you stream how many days a week right now?
So I do 3 at the moment, and I think I'll always leave it at 3. It's kind of the sweet spot of days for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
3's good.
You don't want to overburn yourself with especially if you're doing other things behind the scenes, like with your band.
Yeah, exactly. And it's working that in with the work schedule as well has been tough.
So how was last year for you? Was it a great year for you to, I know streamers, it was the year to be a streamer, but did you feel,
it was, yeah.
Yeah, did you feel like you grew a lot when it came to your craft because of the live streaming, or what's the difference between live streaming and live shows?
I definitely grew a lot over that year. 2020 was the one where everyone, like it was a shit year, but like at its core, it actually ended up being a pretty good year for me. Like I learned a lot of stuff. I kind of got a lot more confidence in myself as a person and like what I was doing. And then the differences between live and like a live performance, and the Twitch thing is it's just a lot more relaxed on Twitch for me. I don't feel as much pressure to sort of pull out the perfect performance. I sort of feel much more relaxed to just like, messed up that note, or I've been trying to find a key of this song for like a minute and a half now, but it's fine. Who cares? And I really like that relaxed attitude, but it's also Twitch has just made me a better player. Like,
Yeah, you feel that?
My playing's gotten infinitely better than when I wasn't streaming 3 days a week. Because now I'm doing like 3.5 hours of improv every week. Actually, no, that's like I'm doing like nearly 15 plus hours of improv a week, which is really cool. And everything's kind of gotten better. I feel more fluid. Like my picking's definitely gotten faster. Like I couldn't play at some of the speeds I can now, like a year ago, which is it's kind of cool. It's
I feel
funny
that.
what practice does.
Again, and I was just talking about it when I was doing that tryout on Sunday, and I told her, I was like, playing on Twitch really helped because how people just throw random songs at you. You gotta kind of like listen in and try to figure it out on the fly while you're playing. There's a lot of listening and trying to like hone into like the rhythm and the sound and stuff, and I'm like listening to the guitars and the basses play their riffs and stuff. And to be frank, I've only actually heard their song for like a day before I actually went in to try out. It was like 5 songs I had to learn, and I'm like looping it in my headphones for an entire day before I got in to play it. And I'm like,
That's great though.
I'm like, oh well, I'll figure it out on the spot.
He's used to
I feel like
improv.
sometimes that lack of preparedness for that stuff too, actually, you pull out a better performance because you're kind of a bit looser on it.
Yeah.
You have an adrenaline rush on it too, because you're like, all right, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah, exactly. You got that like little bit of pressure on you as well.
And you don't
Yeah.
overthink.
There's something in it. Yeah, because you can over practice stuff too. Like I've crunched songs for like 2 weeks straight to get ready for a performance, and then absolutely butchered it because I was just too over practiced and I was too into it.
And then you
That made
disappoint
myself
yourself
worse.
because like, I've been practicing this. I don't know why I suck now.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. Practice is weird like that. The fact you can over practice has always blown my mind.
Yeah. When you have like less time and you do mess up, you're like, well, that's because I didn't practice, so
Maybe
I'm
that's-
fine.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that you can't blame it on like, oh, I over practice. Like, well, I actually didn't really like practice that much.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Yes, I didn't. Bro, I didn't even warm up for this gig. That's why I'm making so many mistakes. Like,
And it makes you sound humble, It's like, no, you did great. Like, nah, man, I sucked. Like, I know.
story of my life.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, improv is something that I think you're either you have it or you're gonna be like somebody doesn't know how to juggle and then they're trying to juggle something and it's just a so it's like some people feel very comfortable being able to have that freedom, like what Luna said. Like he went to the rehearsal and he said, well, can I make these songs a little bit more like, he saw little things that he wanted to kind of like improve, I guess. I don't want to say improve, but like certain things he saw. Yeah. And it's like freedom to kind of, make it your own too and add your little flair and your style in there. So I like that. I really like that you improv songs, because you really showcase the way you shine on the guitar with your own style,
Oh, thank you. It's improv thing that I'm doing on Twitch is something I used to do when I was like 16. Like it was just you whack on an album and you just rip over it, and that was heaps of fun to me. That's why I think I enjoy it so much, because it's almost like a throwback to when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of doing this really fun thing. It's like, hey, here's a cool song. Like, who cares about the singer? Like, this is guitar time. Like, I'm just gonna rip over the top of you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So when you mess up a lot, do you get really mad and throw darts at that dartboard?
Oh, there's a dartboard behind you. I just
Yeah.
noticed that.
I used to have it set up so I could actually play darts, but I can't do it in this apartment. So
Son of
I
a-
don't have prop deck.
Bullseye.
It's funny. Me in studio gets like that. I'm not good under, like I get real bad red light fever, and I definitely get a bit crabby. I actually I filmed myself recording all the stuff we're releasing this year, and I went and edited it every single time. I swore or had an angry thing. It was like a 5-minute video, just me getting angry.
Oh yeah.
which I'm definitely it will be posted once the stuff comes out.
I did a video recording before trying to learn like a cinematic song, and like I got so frustrated. It was like 10 takes later. I'm like, you can see it on my face on the recording that I was pissed.
Yeah.
Like I can't change it now. It's already in there. So
I think
I was just stressed.
The added pressure on it as well. Like there was a couple moments where I was getting takes and I'm like, I've got one more day to get this take, and it's like, and I'm sucking. I'm like, am I actually going to get this? Like, I don't know. And then that sort of feeds into more sort of,
and it makes you worse too.
Yeah, it makes you worse because you're not relaxed and you're not sort of enjoying it.
Yeah, you're tensing up.
That said, this recording that we did for this new stuff was much more pleasant because it wasn't in studio. We tracked everything on our own because it was midst of lockdown, so we couldn't go anywhere. I think our drummer just managed to get stems with a mate of his before we got locked down to the point where we couldn't go see people. Like literally did that, and then I think it was like 2 days after we got locked down. And then I tracked all guitars just at home out of here, and then keys were also just all done in our homes. It was really cool. It was a bit more relaxed in that sense.
You can plug it in and play. Like drummers, they would need like larger rigs with the mics and stuff.
Yeah, it's the mics mainly. Like our drummer's got a pretty okay room that he could probably pull some good stuff out of, but it's just affording to buy all the mics that you need to get that kit going.
The investments, yeah.
Yeah, like guitar, like the way I run it, because I use modeling anyway, I just need a couple XLRs into an interface and I'm golden. I'm done.
Yeah, you guys are lucky.
So it's such a easy process for me.
I don't know why I chose the drums.
Because they're fun as hell. I want to learn drums.
Yeah, it's a good stress reliever.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I get behind a kit, despite the fact that I absolutely suck at drums, it's just so much fun. It's loud and you can hit shit and
get your frustrations out with the drums.
No matter what you hit, it's all fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just a primal thing about it.
And the thing is, it's such a hassle. Like when we went yesterday, we were both hurt. Yeah, we were both carrying, and I've been to other gigs where he's been, I've been lugging his stuff too, you know, because that's love. And I was like, and like, yeah, it's like, you know, and then we see the bass player, he's just there with his gig bag, and he's just standing there, we're like, yes. And then we're like coming in with like the cymbals and boxes, like big luggage type stuff with like his snare and one, and like cymbals and another.
It's been so long since I've carried like some of my kit around, and I forgot how heavy my cymbals are, like in the case.
Yes.
So I'm like carrying it 2 or 3 blocks away because of parking, and I'm like, oh, switch.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta switch like, every red light. Okay, let's put it down.
I woke up with sore traps. Let's go.
Oh Jesus,
it's so bad.
But you know, that's what drummers got to go through. So it's okay. It's good that you chose the guitar because it's less stuff to do.
Gigs. Your rigs are heavy too. Like you have your stacks and stuff.
Oh, my rig is not. My rig's literally like that case behind me, and then this case here. That's all I take.
Oh, well, screw you.
So, I also feel really guilty when my drummer comes in with a bunch of stuff.
Do you help your drummer, or do you just watch him do everything and laugh?
Nah, I feel bad because like I always rock up with just I'm like, yeah, I got to the gig with like on public transport with 2 things. How are you doing?
You're a good band member.
Unloading the car.
You're a good band member.
I always help him out with that. But yeah, I streamlined my rig on purpose because I used to have like a 60 kilo amp and then a pedal board, and you take a couple guitars with you as well, and I just got sick of dragging that on public transport because I don't actually have a license, so I can't drive a car. So everywhere I go, it's always on trains or trams or whatever.
So you were a city guy. You were a city guy.
I'm a city guy, so it works.
Yeah, same here. City girl. So for my entire life, that's all like cabs and everything. Like, yeah, okay, take me here. So it's like we're so
much easier.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about anything. So it's easy.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing. It's like even when I get it, because I need to get my license for touring and stuff. But even when I get that, I'm still gonna take public transport everywhere because I can sit on a tram and watch a YouTube video or a YenYorkCity podcast.
Hey,
yes. And I'm so grateful that you are here sitting with us today. So guys,
I'm so grateful to be here.
It's just so fun. I mean, that's the thing with the whole Twitch life is that you can transport yourself anywhere in the world. Right now, where Matt's at, it's morning. Okay. So
yeah, it's just gone past what 11? Yeah, 11 a.m.
And
He just had his coffee.
He just had his
I
coffee.
had my coffee.
I'm still having
Go get
coffee. I
coffee.
live off of coffee, but it's
Yeah.
8:14 here, so it's
I might
11.
finish mine.
So yeah, this is what's magical about Twitch, because you can just like watch people from all over the world, and I love how we connect from different parts of the world, and also collabs are really big. So I would be jumping on the chance to work with a guitarist like Matt. So do you get a lot of offers by a lot of people that are like, either drummers or bass players that watch your streams like, dude, I want to collab with you? Like, have you gotten a lot of those collab offers?
I've actually only got one like collab offer so far, and it's
What?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but old mate Toofy hit me up for something.
Oh, Toofy.
Still yet to hear more.
Toofy, yes.
Well, you guys are like neighbors, so like you could do stuff together.
Pretty much. I mean, Tassie's, it's not too far. I could catch a plane in an hour.
It has me.
Meet halfway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was telling me about that. It was like on the hush, like, so I didn't want to bring it up, but you bring it up. So Toof, it wasn't me.
Yeah, sorry, Toofy.
It was Matt. He did it.
Matt let it out the bag, okay? But wow, that sounds amazing. I mean, yeah, 2 Australians. Yeah, I've had a couple of Australians. I think 4. I had Zen Fusion, Tasmanian Devil, Toofy, but they're from different parts of Australia. So it's different everywhere. From what I've noticed, it's very different. So you're in the city.
So what's it like in your city?
Yeah.
It's like Melbourne's glorious. I love it here. Like it's the
gorgeous
place where I
over
felt
there.
at home. Yeah, all of Australia's got something beautiful to find. Like Melbourne's kind of like the cityscape, pretty. Like it's beautiful old buildings, and then you've got like a cafe every 2 steps, and like just
Starbucks.
everything you could want, like right at your fingertips here. And then it's actually not that far out. You can get out into like the national parks and stuff like that, and go for beautiful walks and all that. But my hometown's beautiful as well. It's got gorgeous beaches, and that's actually, I miss the beach more than anything, because I used to surf a lot, and obviously you can't do that in a city, so you kind of miss out on that. And
so you're
where
surfer.
Toofy's from,
That's
Tassie
so
is.
cool.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time. I always do it when I go home to visit the folks, but I don't get to go out here. Although I think they've built a wave pool in the city, so maybe I'll be getting back
That'd be
into that a bit
something.
more.
Be recreational.
I do miss it. Like there's such a zen moment when you're kind of doing the surfing things. Like all you're really thinking about is just being in the moment, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. I used to surf
love that.
when I was a kid, in my teens, because I used to live by the shore. And I wasn't very good at it. Like I started learning whitewash, and then got into like got the ability to get to my knees, and then kind of crouched, and then wipe out, and then I broke out in like some allergic reaction, probably from the wax that was on there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
That's not good.
I don't know what it was, but I had to bury myself in the sand so it goes away.
Jeez, yeah, no, that's not what you want. That's unpleasant. I mean, I've gotten like, probably a bit TMI, but I've gotten like the nipple rash when you're like paddling all day and you put your shirt on after, and you're like, it hurts.
Don't touch the nips. It's sensitive.
Oh man.
They're on fire.
So any other surfers in the chat? I know so Luna's the surfer. I've always like secretly wished I was like a surfer babe. Like, oh my god, I see surfer like and guys and girls, like when they do their surfing and those huge waves that are like enormous. Oh my god, it must be like such a moment when you catch a big wave and you're just riding it, and it's so big, and it looks so epic, and like I wish I can experience that, but it looks really, really hard and dangerous at the same time. Like it's like a thrill, right?
Depends on how big you're going. Like most of it's not particularly dangerous. Like you just kind of fall in the water, hold your breath for a bit, and you're all good.
Just don't run into people.
It's hard to say how tricky it is, because I started learning, like my dad was teaching me to surf when I was probably like 6 years old. So I don't really remember the point where I got from like I couldn't stand up and was like getting pushed into the point where I could then kind of surf. Like I don't have a lot of memory of that. But yeah, so I don't know how difficult it is to learn. Although I've seen people try to learn, and it looks hard. But
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
like anything.
I get mesmerized by like the way it looks, and just it seems like such a mental focus to be a surfer too.
It really is. Like when
Yeah.
you're actually on the wave, you're not thinking about anything else. You're just totally in the moment of what you're doing, and it's
Just feeling it out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you're not thinking about, oh, I'm gonna do this. You just kind of do it. There's like a flow to it, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
What's
I
up,
try
Goose?
to like I try to do like snowboarding too, because I used to skateboard a lot, and then I also had like the experience for surfing. And I'm like, I could do snowboarding. That's not that bad now because I have the two, like but the controls are like complete opposite.
Ice.
Ah, right.
So I kept like spinning in circles because.
So I've often thought that myself, that I might be all right at snowboarding, and everyone tells me like, nah, you're gonna suck at it. I'm like, nah, I'll be all right.
Oh
Yeah, because
damn.
you steer the board when you surf on the front. Snowboarding is the back because you cut in and out with your ankle, so you
Right.
shift a little bit from the back, which is weird. It's an interesting I guess
I probably do a bit
interesting
of
way
that when I surf. Like it's more pivoting off the back foot, but I think it's more of a pivot motion rather than like a slicing motion. On like skating and surfing.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I want to
guess
try it
it's-
there.
I
I
guess
want to hit the
it's-
snow and give it a go.
it's fun. It's definitely a good experience. I would recommend it.
Oh yeah.
So going back to you playing, what are the genres that you feel like you hone more or you love playing the most on your streams?
Oh, it's like blues or like kind of swampy rock, like hands down. It's just anything that like grooves in a kind of like slower tempo and that I can really lay into. I love that stuff. Because I played in blues band for a few couple years when I got to Melbourne. I think because I honed in on that so much, that's just where I feel most at home to play. But I like that kind of aggression of a bit more rocky blues, so not like straight ahead, like chugga chugga blues.
Yeah,
Although that's still fun, but I love kind of like the King's X vibe as well. That kind of real swampy rock. It's just
like
something
BB
about it.
King.
Oh, I love BB. BB was
Yeah.
like my first blues crush. I still love him.
Ooh.
He's just there is no vibrato in the guitar world like BB King. It's untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so vocal, and the way he's a big part of the minimalist thing. Like BB King's not a shredder. He just plays the right notes, and it's glorious.
All feel.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that too.
You're better off playing the right notes than heaps of notes.
I agree.
Although playing heaps of notes is incredibly fun. Like playing fast stuff's it's a fun thing to do. But I don't really do it if I'm tracking a record, unless I really feel like I want to do that. I always try to keep it very
it's very
vocal.
true. It's very true what you said. Like just getting, and also like drummers with the whole blast beat and technical type of aspects on both is almost the same as like what you just said with guitar. You know, like
Well, it's good to be able to have all the chopsy stuff at your disposal, but it's also good to know when to pull that out.
Mhm.
If you
Just
just
stay in the
chopsy all the
pocket.
time, it stops being impressive. Whereas if you do something and you just pull that chopsy thing out like this one little segment, and it's like, whoa, shit, check that out.
Yeah, it really makes it shine more.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as
Minimalist.
I remember reading I think it was autobiography by Tony Iommi. He was saying when they were doing the Black Sabbath stuff, like they purposefully make a really down, quiet song right before they came in with like the real riffy shit,
Yeah.
so that the riffy stuff just hit way harder. And I still like it's so true. You get it all the time.
I think it goes for a lot of things, even singers, like when over singing is too much too, and it's like sometimes it's like what you said, the minimal type of feels in there are like really good, and it feels like you feel it more sometimes than just going ham and just really like, yeah, you know, it's good to have a little bit of both. It's also like when I hear people doing a lot of the growling and a lot of the metal or genty stuff, and it's just like I like when there's those little moments where it's like melodic and then they go into it and you're like, yes. So yeah,
That's why I love the dudes that can do both with that. Like, not only is it super impressive when they can do cleans and growls both incredibly well, but it's just this nice thing when it's like maybe the verse is real dirty and heavy and they're growling, and then they go into the chorus and it's just super melodic, almost like pop melody kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love that. We got another shredder here. Goose, the Goose Chase.
Hey,
Goose.
Goose Chase.
Is this one of your dudes? Matt Burrows? Guys, if you don't know,
Hey.
Matt Burrows, he's an amazing guitarist here on Twitch, and he's also going to share with us more about his side projects and his band that he's
I
just
wish it was my
revamped.
dude. He's taken.
I wish he was my dude. He was oh, I was gonna say, I know you guys, some of you guys are gonna be like, hey, you didn't ask me this question. Okay, yeah, all pretty girls, yeah, all gentlemen, awesome, but I gotta ask you, because there's a lot of guys in your stream and girls in your stream that I noticed. They're very they shower you with compliments, right? And I've said it before. I'm like, yeah, he's a lovely man. Okay, he's lovely, beautiful, right? He's talented, skillful. He gets very bashful when people tell him stuff on stream. How I know for women, because being a female streamer, we get it a lot. I mean, I don't really mind so much, but for a male, to be a male and also get a lot of attention and like sometimes getting harassed or like showered with compliments, like and you're also married, so I don't know if your wife is in stream all the time and she's like, she seems really sweet and cool, so it's like good, but like how do you handle that when it's like when you get like trolls or people that are like over going over, like do you have a way of going, because I see you're very polite and you have like you know how to handle the chat, but how do you do that like for a streamer?
I mean, with the compliment stuff, like I don't really mind too much. Like sometimes it gets if someone just drops like one compliment, it's fine. When it keeps getting more and more, it's hard to keep reacting to it, 'cause like there's only so many ways you can thank someone for a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
But on the topic of my wife, like she doesn't mind. I think she kind of enjoys the fact that she's married to me, and
she's like, yeah, he's mine, bitches.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
look, you can look, but it's mine. Yeah. So that's true.
Like, there's definitely been a couple moments where it's probably like gotten a little bit far, but never to the point where I feel like I have to say anything. I just sort of kind of let that comment go, and then they usually don't come back with it. With trolls, it's the same thing. I just don't interact with them. They usually go away on their own volition. If they keep saying, I've been really lucky in my streams. I've only ever had to ban one person in my entire time.
Wow.
Which is exactly how I want to try and keep it. I know I'll probably have to eventually go that far, and other times, most of the time I just say like, it's not on around here, man, and they'll just go, and they usually don't come back.
No, Goose, I didn't mean you. Matt, sorry if I went too far with there's someone at the door. What?
Nah, Goose, you're right. It's all good.
You can come to my door any day.
I had my door open once when I was streaming because it was really hot. It was before I got like a little air conditioner in here. And Goose did the old, there's someone at the door, and I fucking looked like an idiot, even though I have a camera that's literally pointing at the door. I still turned around and looked.
What?
Cheeky devil. But nah, I've been really lucky with my chat. I think I'm a big believer in the whole your vibe attracts your tribe. Obviously on the internet, people will still come in and troll, but for the most part, I think most people come in, they see what it's about just by what the chat's doing, and then they kind of will get it and interact, or they won't like it or whatever, and they just kind of go on their own way, which I think is really nice.
On that note, you said your vibe attracts your tribe. Yen has a shirt that says exactly that.
No way.
Synchronicity, guys. That's why we're vibing right now. That's why we're vibing, because that's exactly, I've been saying that because you guys know I'm a yoga instructor, so we all have like these sayings and stuff like that. And I've always said your vibe attracts your tribe, because it's
actually
true.
A really cool looking design too. I made it myself, and I'm very glad.
So
that it
it's on a t-shirt, guys. If you want to wear it, it's on my merch store.
On a lot of other things. We got socks, we got pants, we got shirts, tanks, bags, mugs. We got everything.
Vlad said he wore your merch this weekend, but we didn't catch a stream because we were all over the city. Yeah, but that's really cool, and I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start getting people's merch and wearing it or giving it away. So everybody that's already been on the podcast is gonna be in there in the mix of me buying stuff. So Matt, do you have merch up now of your own?
I do not.
Why not?
I can't think of anything good to put on a shirt, so I haven't done it.
That face though, that face. You have beautiful pictures too.
Do that.
I'm sure you would sell.
Maybe, I don't know. I think it's I don't know about merch yet. It's not. don't know. It's the combination of I can't think of cool designs because I don't want to just like slap my face on something and say buy me.
Like with your guitar.
I kind of want to
like an artsy one.
Yeah, guitar could be cool. I've always I really want to get a logo. I don't have a logo, and I think it'd be nice to have something like that works. But I'm shit at graphic design, and I also have no idea what I want, so that makes me not want to go to somebody like just a complete random graphic designer and be like, I want a logo. What do you want? I don't know.
Just make me something.
Yes. I don't know. You're the designer. Make me a pretty pattern.
Oh, speaking of designs, Luna designed this new hype emote for
I love this.
For the stream, and also for him if he wants to use it for bit emotes or Discord emotes, or if he wants to switch it out with any emotes he has prior to the ones he has now. Those are it. So I would definitely want you guys to spam those emotes when he plays the next song. And thank you so much, Ray, for the follow.
Yo, Ray's in the house.
Ray! Oh, hype it up for Ray, guys. Because he...
Do you know that guy?
Ray's been following me since I was at like 100 followers, I think. Like he's been around for a long time.
Follower. Very nice.
He's an OG then.
He is an OG, not the OG.
Oh look, here's another OG.
OG, OG's always in your streams too. He's a big supporter. What's up, OG?
OG's a big supporter of everyone, man.
Yeah, he really is.
OG's.
I mean, he's here right now.
OG's the OG.
Yeah.
OG's that
OG's
dude.
an absolute legend.
So guys, if you have any questions for Matt, also put it in the chat so we can ask him. And Matt's gonna give us some more of his magical Matt.
Another song?
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking I might whip out the acoustic for this one.
Oh yes, beautiful. Let's do it.
A little bit of flamenco.
I can try that.
Oh. Flamenco's tough.
I moved my guitar rack recently because I absolutely took myself out one day.
Oh no. We gotta hear that story. How did that happen? We gotta hear that story.
So I had my guitar rack sitting just over here where this guitar case is. And I came in the other day, I was just like on the phone to my dad. Came in, I whacked my toe on the corner of it. And I was like, that sucks. And I took a massive chunk out of my toe.
Oh no.
And then literally the next morning, I walked in and I kicked the same toe and then like cracked the nail open.
What? Ouch, double whammy. Jeez.
Yeah, so I
you're
made the
moving
decision there and then that it's time to just move that to a different spot so I don't do that again.
Smart.
There was quite a few swear words dropped at that moment.
It took two hits for you to do something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed. I did see this question before and I overlooked it. I'm sorry. Question for Matt. Have you ever played The Thrill Is Gone by BB King? Love that song.
I have played that song. Reverb. A long time ago. Like as a cover. But I'll play it any day of the week. That's one of my favorites.
So which is a good
blues,
song?
man.
Because you love blues so much and you have that bluesy voice too. Are you gonna sing for us today too?
I was gonna bust out a sing now, actually.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Yen had mentioned you were a singer-songwriter, and I saw you cracking up in the background.
I don't consider myself a singer at all.
But I think you can. I think you really are a singer, and you can write. If you can shred like that and improv, that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah. This one.
I'm already putting that crown on him. He's doing it. He could do it. He got everything it takes to be one. So to me, that's...
Thank you so much.
It's happening, manifesting it.
What do you got for us, Matt?
All right, this is actually an original one. So
Original. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And he doesn't call himself a singer-songwriter. Okay.
This one's actually on the YouTube if anyone likes it and wants to check it out later.
Yeah, make sure to follow him on YouTube.
Shameless self-plug.
No, this is what it's about. Everyone here in chat, if you guys
plug yourself for days on here if you want. Plug it all.
This is the one channel. Yeah, this is the one channel you can promote the heck out of yourself and just love each other in the chat and follow each other. And yeah, it's so cool here. Okay, so be safe and go ahead and promote. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be on the podcast in the future. Ray is here. I'm gonna get James up in here too. Yes, Ray Musica is on the podcast at the end of the month. That's gonna be awesome. So shout out to Ray, and QT Drummer is next week. So
QT, nice.
Yes, Q. He's an amazing person and a big supporter here, drummer on Twitch. All right, we're gonna hear this original song.
Let's do it.
All right.
Can't remember my own song. It might be true. I didn't do everything I could do, but you threw it all away. That one summer's day. I told you if you walked away, oh darling, I wouldn't come to your aid. You still had the nerve to come to my door. What'd you go and do that for? You weren't right. Oh, darling, you didn't sleep well last night. Well, you were writing on the page. An apology was made. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night, and darling, you were nowhere in sight. A note on my bed, oh darling, things best left unsaid. Oh. I told you if you walked away, oh darling, I wouldn't come to your aid. You still had the nerve to come to my door.
Okay.
Something like that.
That was it.
What?
That was it.
Yeah, and I end on the weird note.
Matt,
Finish on the 5, confuse people.
Matt, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth when you talk to me. You can sing, bro. What is wrong with you?
Thank you so much, man.
It's a beautiful voice. Oh my god. He got it all, guys. He got it all. What can I say? And look, he's serenading us. He's serenading us tonight, guys. How lucky are we?
Oh, I'm the lucky one. I'm here.
Oh. And he's so modest and sweet. See, so you guys better give him a follow, and you're gonna get more of this serenading and original music, because he is. Even though he doesn't want to admit it, he is a songwriter. Because I mean, he did just finish singing a song that he wrote. So basically,
On
that's
technicality, yeah. There you go.
Okay. I just said from now on, you sing to me, Matt.
All right.
Whenever you talk to me,
Solo
you
show
sing.
just
You don't
you,
talk
Matt.
to me. You just sing to me.
So who are your favorite
I was gonna try
singers
and do it, but I
then?
can't. Favorite singers. That's a tough one. Definitely, like in recent times, definitely old mate Chris Cornell. Rest in peace.
Oh, that's my favorite singer of all time.
Oh,
That's
he's
Stellar
the greatest
singer.
rock vocalist of all time. He's
Really?
incredible. The things he does.
okay. This
Just-
is why we're connecting, because I'm always the one saying it. Like, nobody's a bigger Chris Cornell fan than me, and people don't realize he's so much more than like the songs he's known for, because he had a whole solo career.
Oh yeah, his solo career is amazing.
Ugh.
What's the album? Is it Higher Truth? solo
Yeah,
album, dude?
that was
Yeah,
the
that's-
last one. But Euphoria Morning is a masterpiece. Like through and
I'll have
through,
to check that out.
every song. It's like it's just one of those albums that you can listen to, and it just gives you all types of feelings. And
Yeah,
you know,
he's-
and lyrically wise, he was just a poet, and you felt everything in his voice, and to me, he was my biggest inspiration. So him as
Sure,
a singer.
He's just an incredible vocalist, incredible songwriter, and just yeah, it's so sad that he's gone now. But
Yeah, that was the one that affected me the most, I would say, because I went
Yeah,
to
that one-
every show. I mean, I saw him in his solo career when he was with Soundgarden, Temple of the Dog, when they reunited and they did the whole
yeah.
tour. That was one of the last shows I saw in Madison Square Garden. Every time, yeah. So it felt like I grew up like seeing him in every stage, like Audio Slave, and I went to see him and did all that kind of stuff. I met him. I did meet and greets. And so it was
Oh,
like,
man.
he was so sweet. It was like, he was like everything
yeah,
that like,
he always seemed like just a sweetheart.
like total sweet,
really loving.
humble, almost shy, like when you would talk to
Yeah.
him, because he was so like, he didn't know how amazing and gorgeous he was. Like you would just stare at him. He would just be so modest. And that was so like, you don't see that, you know, he was beautiful inside and out is what I'm saying. An
Yeah,
amazing guitarist, amazing singer, songwriter, everything. So yeah, we lost a really amazing artist when we lost Chris Cornell.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So that's one.
Other than Chris for vocals, it was just a lot of blues guys. Like that's sort of where I started getting better at singing, was when I was going to blues jams all the time. I was just belting out like blues standards. And that's sort of where I got better at the belt and like a bit of the distortion in the voice, because it was just a loud as fuck band and I had to scream as loud as I could to get over the top of it. So I sort of got better at adding dirt to my voice and stuff like that. Because before that, I was a very delicate singer, because I'd listened to a lot of like Bob Dylan and folky guys, and it was all very soft and delicate. And then I got in the blues thing, and there was dudes up there just howling, and I was like, I want to try and do some of that.
Yeah,
But
because you
there's
have that.
not really any specifics.
You definitely have that like what can I say? That grit in your voice and that soul in your voice, and that's what I look for in a singer. Because a lot of singers I don't know, it's hard to explain, but a singer can really make the song more emotional, and they have that in their voice.
For sure. Because I've never been a huge fan of the singers that are a bit too clean. Like I like a little bit of spice in there, a bit of grit.
Me too.
Like they're the ones I'm always drawn to. That said, though, like the singer of Just a Leo always blows me away. She's got the hell of a set of pipes on her, but she also comes from that very like soul-y kind of school as well. So when she sings, like you still feel that, and it's glorious.
Glorious. Nigel's in the chat. Uh-oh, guys.
Nigel!
Be warned.
You're in trouble. He was like, oh my god, Luna, nice beard. The only hair I'm gonna appreciate in this stream, no lie. No one else's.
Oh, stop, Nigel. You know you're here for Matt's hair, okay? Don't lie.
Right.
But
All
yeah,
about Matt's hair.
look at that. Look at
Yes.
that. Oh, I wish it would be in slow
That's for you,
motion. We
Nigel.
had like some kind of effect. Hey, Shane.
Some novella.
Like
He's in like a one of those soap operas. The wind blowing.
Well,
Like-
I used to have a fan on in my room because it was really hot, and I used to wear in-ears, so I used to have my hair blowing in the breeze when I'd play. Stop that pretty quick though.
it was
I didn't like
longer
looking
too.
too much like Herman Lee. It was way longer. I cut a lot off during lockdown. It used to come down to like about here. Like there was a lot more hair going on back then. it kind of got annoying because I'd be playing and I'd be ripping my hair out whilst I was playing because it'd just get on the fretboard.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. So I get to the end of the
Everywhere.
stream, I look down, there'd be like hair all over my floor, and I was like, I gotta cut my hair.
Yeah, I'm getting
It's too
hair
long
all
now.
over my drums, and it's like the mesh heads, so like they go through the holes, and I'm like picking them, as if my drums is growing hair themselves. I was like, oh no.
It's a living thing.
No, but I love that. That was the best thing of last year. Everybody was like, no barbershops open in sight, so everybody just let their hair grow. It's like everybody went hippie on us, and I loved it. Like everybody just let it, like their hair grow, their beards grow. I mean, unless people really didn't know what to do with it, then it could be a big mess. But most people really got down with just letting it grow, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was definitely the season of letting it out.
Yeah, I'm growing down mine down to my ass.
See, I had that thought I was going to, and then I was gonna like chop it all off for charity, but it got to the point where it was like not pleasant to have it at the length it was. Like
Yeah,
every day was like if it got slightly greasy, it would just give me a headache because of the weight it was starting to put on me. I was
Oh.
like, I can't
I'm always
anymore.
telling my guys, don't do it to yourselves. Come on, like one day you're gonna wish you had your long hair again. Don't go and shave it. He wanted to shave it. I was like, if you shave it, that would be a shame. Like one day you're gonna wish you had the hair you had before, and why not, right? Like you save money. You don't go to the barbershop. You don't cut it. I mean, as long as you keep it neat, and you put stuff in it, and then why not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely the money saving. I hated hairdressers. No hairdresser ever gave me a good haircut. So I went back to long hair. Every time I walked out of the hairdresser, I'm like, I don't want to see anyone for like 2 weeks. I'm just gonna stay at home.
I'm just gonna wear a hat all day long.
Yeah, pretty much. But I can't wear hats. They look shit on me.
Really?
I've never found a
I
hat
bet
that looks
they
good on my head.
don't. Yeah, okay.
Nah, hats always look weird on me. I've never been able to pull off a hat.
Not like a fedora or anything like that.
A
Like,
fedora.
I used to rock a
I
fedora.
used to rock a fedora, but now it's kind of like the mullet thing that we were talking about, babe. Like
I can rock a fedora. Well, not now with my hair, but yeah, because of the mullet.
I used to rock the fedora, and I made the mistake of wearing it to school once, and that was a bad idea. But
I have that
no,
picture
that didn't go down well.
that I put in the promo poster, and your hair looks perfectly like it was in like you were in like a mid-air, like flipping your hair, and it was like amazing.
Yeah, that's all my dad's photography. He does pretty
That's
much
your
all of our
dad's?
live shoots.
Wow.
Yeah. So the photography we've got for like press stuff, that's done with a different photographer, but all live photos are my dad. And actually, the black and white photo I think you used is also my dad.
Oh, that one's beautiful. That on a t-shirt would
Yeah,
look
it's a really
amazing.
nice shot.
That one's beautiful. Max! Max A. Drums is in the chat.
Hey.
Your
How's it
guys
going,
on the podcast tonight, Max. You're the reason why I even discovered him in the first place, and I saw him on the feed because you were the one that said, he's on, let's go rate him, and it was a podcast that we had with Max A. Drums. And then I was like, I didn't even know about him. And so this is what I love is raids. You discover a lot of different music and people that you didn't know were on the platform. So
Oh, sure.
I gotta thank Max for introducing me to your streams, your channel, and your music. So
Max.
big shout out to Maxi Drums, another guy
Also
with
just-
amazing hair, by the way,
And he's growing a beard
Wholesome as
too.
fuck.
and an epic beard.
Yeah, he is. He's very wholesome.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
nice.
they're
Dude.
the streamers I'm always drawn to, like just the real wholesome dudes.
Yeah,
Lovely.
that's
Love
why I
that.
said, I was like, if he said let's go rate him, he's an awesome guy. I was like, I knew 100%, 110% that he was gonna be like that. That Matt was gonna be awesome because anyone that he suggests is always awesome. And yeah, Max is the wholesome guy. He's like, I don't know, I always feel safe in his chat. Like for me, it's like I go
I
in
love
there.
that.
Yeah, I feel very, very safe, and I love when I go in there. I have my own command, and it's him yelling my name, Jans.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to be there when that happens.
I love it. It's
we're
so
we're
awesome.
always screaming our names back and forward when we see each other.
It's awesome.
I know if we ever meet on TwitchCon, we're just gonna be like 3 blocks away. We're screaming our names, and we'll know it's us. Like,
Oh, I can't wait for that day. I will. I would
Just
go
hear
to.
the whisper on the wind.
dude, yeah. Are you gonna, if TwitchCon comes around, are you planning on coming out?
I'd love to. financially will be another thing, but I'd love to come out there. It'd be fucking awesome.
Love
It'd be nice to meet a lot of these people that I'm seeing in chats all the time in person and actually say hi.
Oh yeah.
So it's like my experience with a lot of people is just like a name and what they write.
Yeah.
You got an active Discord?
I need to set up more chat in the Discord, to be honest. I should do that.
You can make that
That'd be-
also an incentive. Like if let's say TwitchCon does happen, I'm not sure if it's going to or if it's going to be like.
We're planning on it for this year, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's all a bit up in the air, given the current circumstances.
Yeah, next
Fingers
time I'll
crossed.
definitely go. I definitely want to go, and we were even wanting to go to the one in Amsterdam last year, but you know that got
There was one in
canceled.
Amsterdam? Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do one in EU and then they do one in California.
Cool.
We wish they do one in like New York. It'd be easier for us.
I mean,
That'd be
hello,
glorious.
we got all the venues here. We have everything. I mean, why not? You know, it'll be awesome if they alternated like East Coast, West Coast.
Imagine TwitchCon in Sydney.
Yeah.
That would
That'd
be
be
good.
crazy.
Nah, TwitchCon in Melbourne. Then I don't have to travel anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know exactly where it would be, and that's in walking distance of my house. It'd be glorious.
Ooh.
I shout out the most opposite city from where he's at. He's like, no, what are you
What are
talking
you
about?
talking about?
Why would
Bring
you
it-
want to
bring it
make me
down.
drive?
Nah, Sydney's all right.
They've only done one in EU so far. Second one got canceled and won't happen this year. But hopefully, San Diego. This year. Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers
Oh my
crossed.
god. Yeah, we went in 2019 and it was so fun. And now it's like we've grown so much as streamers and also like just know so many more people now that it would be just like a blast just meeting everyone and taking pictures and be like, oh my god, you know, everyone's like either so much taller or so much shorter in person. That's all
Yeah.
it is, right?
Everyone thinks I'm like 6 foot, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm like 5'4". What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we're like literally the same height. We're literally the same height, and people think that I'm like super tall, like I'm a supermodel or something, and he's very tall and lanky. I'm like, no, we're the same height, and it's an illusion. We're both not tall.
No,
Love that.
the camera angles.
It's angles. It's all about the angles and good lighting
I'm
too.
just a nice even 6 foot.
Yeah, right. You're 6 foot.
Right
No,
then.
dude.
You're 6 feet too. Oh God, guys.
Hey, you're 6 foot?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot.
Oh,
I'm
Hey.
just very normal. Well, not normal.
That's a
but
dream.
what is normal height?
I think
What's
what,
average?
5'7" to 5'10" would be normal around there.
No, that's
Okay.
considered short. I think still. I think
No way.
It's like 5'9", 5'10" is. I think.
I'm gonna search what is the normal
5'9",
height.
yeah.
what's
For
the
men.
normal height of a person?
Well,
5'9". Yeah.
well,
There you
Luna
go.
has a big personality. Okay, that's just that
Oh,
matters.
sure.
Normal height for women is 5'4".
All right, so I'm normal, I guess. Whatever. I'm short to most people. All my cousins are like 6'2", and I'm a shorty next to them. But it's okay. It's it has its advantages because we can pick from the tall or the short guys, so it's fine. Because most
Alright.
guys, they rap about us all the time. Shorty, shorty. I'm like, okay. What about the tall girls? All right. What
Yeah,
if
shout out
if
to
I
the
was
tall girls.
yeah? What if I was tall? I'd be like, what the hell? Only shorties over here and all the rap songs.
I like being short. Like I see all these tall people like having to duck down in certain areas. I'm like, I just walk right.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a point when it's too tall. It'd just be annoying.
who's the tallest guy we've had on the stream? I think it was Greer. He said he's 6'5". Was it 6'5"?
Oh,
Was it?
that's a lot.
I think it was
Yeah,
Greer.
he is kind of tall.
I think Goose, if he's still in chat, he'll tell us. I think he was the tallest.
How many guitars do you own?
Oh
Not
yeah,
many.
behind you,
I'm-
there's a lot of them.
I mean, there's a few behind me, but I'm very minimalist on my guitars. If I don't use a guitar, I just give it to someone who will use it. I can't
I'll use it.
get out of the shot now.
It sounds like me.
Used to be really easy to make my guitar scene, but I pretty much just got the acoustic. I'll show them off real quick. Hold up.
Yeah.
The ones behind me are pretty much the only guitars I play. I'm currently saving to get a second Rev Star just as a backup. But as for guitars,
Only making money.
What the?
so
Oh,
this is a
That's
cigar
gotta be
box guitar.
bluesy.
Yeah, it's really cool. I picked this up on my honeymoon. I wasn't going to buy it. We walked into an art gallery, and I wasn't going to buy it. Like, I saw these on the walls, and I was like, ah, it's really cool. And I played it, and I was like, yeah, it's really cool. And I was like,
Did you buy your wife something?
I think we did buy something. I can't remember what.
I was gonna say I only bought a guitar on my honeymoon. I didn't get her any.
Oh no! I'm sure he did. I'm sure he bought her a bunch of stuff.
These strange.
Oh yeah, because you
But
played
it
it with
was
a
hanging on the
slide,
wall.
right?
Yeah, you got a slide on this. But it was hanging on the wall, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I was like, I can't justify buying it. It's like, we got other stuff we're going to buy on our honeymoon. Like, we don't need to buy me a guitar. And my wife was pretty much like, yeah, shut up. You're buying it.
Oh.
Stop being an
That's
idiot.
love.
Just buy it.
That's love. That's true love.
Yeah. It's a really cool instrument.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds
so
awesome.
cool.
I don't remember how the song goes. How's it go? Yeah, something like that.
What's the tuning on that?
It's G, D, and G. So imagine like drop D, top 3 strings.
Oh,
It's pretty much just that.
that sounds awesome.
Mainly what I do is I just drone that low string and you can kind of add melodies up.
So you bring that to TwitchCon. I'll bring my cajon, my wooden box, and we'll just jam out with that.
Imagine
We'll be the box
100%.
instruments.
outside of TwitchCon, he'll be like, and then he's like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I like the sound of that one. It almost reminds me of what was that instrument that I'm obsessed with that I want?
Banjo?
No,
Oh, I want a banjo.
not that one.
You want a banjo?
Oh shit. Well, it's gonna bother me now. It's an Indian instrument mostly.
Sitar?
Sitar, yes.
Oh, guitar, yeah.
Sitars are amazing.
Ugh, I want one
I
so
also
bad.
want one of those.
Did you say
There's
a
a lot of
triangle?
guitars I want just for like
Triangle.
random, I might use it one day.
I know, it's kind of like a hand pan. I really want those big ones, but they're like
Yeah,
$2,000,
those are
2, 3,
amazing.
5 grand. So
Are they that much?
I mean,
Yeah,
They're
they're pretty
expensive,
pricey.
hey.
it depends
Yeah.
the ones you get too. I have a little tiny one which was like just $300 or $400, but like the big ones that look like flying saucers, like those are a few
Cost a lot.
grand. That's what I'm saying.
One
Like
day.
how many times are you gonna play it or use it, right?
Is it a lap steel?
Yeah. I'm sort of, if I can't justify me playing it a lot, I struggle to buy it. That slide guitar is the first time I bought an instrument where I'm like, I'm probably only going to use this once in a blue moon, just when I'm feeling like playing something a bit different.
But it was your honeymoon,
Everything-
so it has that memory and
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
you know.
It's made out of like, I think it's Tasmanian blackwood on the back, which is where we honeymooned. We went to Tasmania.
Oh,
Nice.
so
And then
fun.
it's like 100-year-old wine cask on the top as well.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's more just a really nice memory of a honeymoon.
Very nice.
And it's also just fun to play. There's a couple little tweaks I want to make to it electronically because it's not, electronics are kind of but that's usually how they go with those things.
Get them like engraved with like your honeymoon date and stuff.
Actually, that's not a bad shout. I
That's
kind of
a-
like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, there is
Is
some
that a lap
romance
steel?
in there.
What was that, sorry?
Is that a lap
let me
steel?
see. Yeah, so this actually isn't mine. This is my brother-in-law's. He lent it to me to learn the High Hope solo, and I still haven't. But it's got a really cool sound.
Play some Black
I
Betty.
can't play slide to save myself, but
Black Betty.
it's really, really fun to kind of pull out every now and then. I need to spend much more time with it to kind of get used to how to play it. It's just, I struggle to sit down and do that these days.
Mm.
Just got to find time.
So do you own
yeah.
your dream guitar?
Fun.
Or which one would be your dream guitar if you don't?
That one.
It's my dream guitar.
So what is
I
that?
need the heavenly song.
It's my Rev Star. It's the one that you've obviously seen a ton if you watch the streams. It's the only guitar I play unless I'm doing acoustic. they're just really amazingly built guitars, and it kind of ticked all the boxes for me. I've been playing this for over a year now, and it's just, I'm always stoked on it. That's why I'm buying a second one, because I just love it so much, and I want to have another one I can grab that's just the same thing.
Aim for sponsorship.
I don't think Yamaha really cares about humble old me, but anyway, maybe one day.
What are the strings
what
of
else?
choice?
Nice.
I know I asked.
Strings of choice?
Yeah.
Ooh. I use Elixir 10 to 46. Always, since I was 11 years old. I've never deviated. And even with Elixirs, I kill them really quick. I know a lot of people use Diodario, are really popular. I'll kill those in 20 minutes. So I can't use them.
Are they light
No
strings?
matter how
Like,
nice they are.
Are they like
I've
really
got-
light strings?
Not even light. My sweat is like, they need to do like a scientific study on it, because the shit just melts through strings so quick. It's super
Spewing
corrosive.
toxic.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Like, even with stainless steel frets, they say these last forever. I've had these on here for like 6 months. I'm already starting to wear them down, just because I just sweat profusely. The original frets on this guitar I killed in 4 months.
Wow.
Like, I pretty much flattened them. I don't know what it is. The bridge is like, I'm just stripping all the paint off it. It's now like just revealing the copper underneath. So yeah,
Jeez.
I don't know what it is with my sweat.
Like
always been
acidic
like that, though.
sweat or something.
Yeah, something like that. Because even
I feel like
Elixirs,
that with my
everyone-
hair. Like my.
'cause everyone
my
always says with Elixirs
hair.
that they last forever and you'll get like months out of them. And I'll have to change them every week still. I just burn through them, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Like, I've always just buy bulk strings and I've always got them on me. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my sweat. I wish I had normal sweat. It'd be great.
Intense heat caused by maximum shreddage.
Shredded.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Ooh, we got a bass.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask too if he has any basses.
I don't really play much bass. This is pretty much just the demo out stuff. These strings, I'm so sorry. These strings need to be changed like immediately, but I'm gonna do the most guitarist one. Anyway, it's got a gnarly sound.
Nice.
I'm gonna stop embarrassing myself on bass.
You're embarrassing yourself, dude. That was awesome.
But this is fun. I picked this up while I was at uni because we only had one bass player in our trimester, like in our like cohort at university, and that one bass player wasn't enough to go around like the 100-odd different things you'd have to do. So I ended up picking up a bass because I was just getting called to play bass all the time in those. It's fun. I like bass. It's another one. I say this all the time with like every instrument. I just need to sit down and spend some more time with it and really learn how to play it. I think
sounds
that's
good.
like
It
5 instruments on my
the
list. I
tone
need to
is
sit down
really
with.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprisingly nice out of this. This is just stock, except for I'm a bit of a psychopath. I modify every single thing I own. So
You have to
I
customize
wired-
it.
yeah, I
That's what it
wired
is.
both pickups to just a single volume rather than having like the 2 volumes and a tone. So it's just all on and all off.
Kind of like my bass.
Yeah,
I have the jazz.
nice. Yeah, jazz basses are my favorite. It's the neck on them that I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dainty guitar player and I can't cope with the P neck. It's too thick for me. Like too wide this way. And this is just really thin and like comfortable to play for me. Anyway,
Sweet.
bass players will be sad about that. I think I prefer the sound of a P though. It's got that really nice like thickness, especially on cleans. Like there's a growl to a P bass that I love.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get the same slap as you get with the J. I don't know. Buy both.
It's their pickup arrangements.
Yeah, exactly. Moxie's asking if I modified the mandolin. I did. Yes.
You have a mandolin?
Oh, mandolins. Those are cool.
It's like just slightly too out of reach over there. Whoa, that's hold up. Let me
Ty
just tune this real quick.
Cobb by Soundgarden has a lot of mandolin for such
It's
an
such a
angry
cool
song.
Because you're an Australian native, do you play the didgeridoo?
Oh, you had to ask. You had to ask.
Yes. Hey,
I've
it's
never
a
learned
native
how to play
instrument.
it. It's surprisingly difficult to play. Like you look at it and you think it's just a tube. I just
Yeah.
blow into it, but it's so hard to play.
There's a lot of like
Especially get all like the
air
overtone
control
stuff that they do.
Yeah.
A lot of air control. I need to see you play one of those. Like,
Me?
Yes.
It's like blowing into a trumpet, but like
It's like
Yeah,
it's
pretty
those
much.
big ones.
this big ass stick in front of you.
No. The funniest thing was when Toofy said that he had one and he had a big party and someone stole it from him. I'm like, how can you walk
Really?
away with something like that? Like, oh, let me put it under my coat,
So
and it's like
big.
sticking
Nice.
out from the coat.
Take this giant
That's
rain
a
stick
weird
with
thing
me.
to steal from a party.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, that's
Like
really
everything
odd.
you could nick, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna steal the didgeridoo.
I know that was funny. I was like, wow, that's not your
Classic.
friend. And he never found out who it was either.
Oh really?
Mm-mm.
That's a bummer. So let me try butcher mandolin. I floored that way faster than I should have. Mandolin's one I've been trying to sort of just learn some bluegrass standards on. It's
That
so
was
good.
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
I said this to people in I said this on my stream the other day. If you want to get better at alternate picking on guitar, like pick up a cheap mandolin and try and play it. Because
Yeah.
you can't legato, you got to just pick. And the fingering's weird because it's all tuned in fifths, so no more like 3-note per string. It's like 4-note per string kind of stuff.
I've
It's
heard
just kind
that
of
too.
yeah. And the cool thing about bluegrass that I love that I think gets really overlooked by some people is the picking you do in bluegrass stuff is not logical. It's all alternate picked, but it could be like 2 notes a string, 3 notes a string. It could be 1 note a string. So you don't get that security of like guitarists will know when you're doing the 3-note per string shred. It's like it's very just rhythmic. You can burn through that pretty quick. But when you got this mixture of different things, like maybe you're going to be doing an upstroke on this string or a downstroke on this string where you wouldn't be, and it kind of breaks you out of it. And it's really nice.
Is there a lot of string skipping?
On mandolin, yes. I haven't dived too far into the string skipping stuff, but there is a bit. It's really fun. It's fun to play. My goal is to learn one Chris Thiele song. If I can do that, I'll be a happy boy. And if you don't
do
know
it.
who Chris Thiele,
You
if you
can
don't
do
know
it.
Chris Thiele, you should definitely check him out. He's
No doubt in my mind he could do it.
yeah.
Nigel
He's-
said, question to Matt, can I borrow the mandolin?
The mandolin.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. Just take that one.
Right to the screen. There you go.
So what
What
are
kind
your...
of camera are you running?
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, no, this was like one of the first purchases I made, like big purchases I made for streaming. Which actually, fun fact, I've actually got 2 now. But
Nice.
it's the one I'm using now is a Sony A6400, which is like just a really nice mirrorless camera. And if you've been to the stream recently, I've started running a B cam, which at the moment's a Canon 5D, but I just picked up a second Sony that I'm going to be running as a B cam instead.
Aw.
Nice.
So I'll have like my main cam will be a 6100 and my B cam will be a 6400, which will be fun. I'm really keen to sort of get that working because at the moment the Canon's using, I don't know if everyone else has used it, but there's this Canon utility app which like turns your Canon DSLR into a webcam.
Oh yeah, that's a
And
new
it's
thing,
a-
the new feature that they added, right?
Yeah, it's a new thing.
Yeah.
And it's a bit, like I'll be
Aw.
streaming and suddenly my camera will just drop out and then it'll come back again. And it's also
Oh.
like about a second behind. Like no, it's a full second, but there's like this delay between them that you just can't get rid of,
Yeah.
which is a little bit annoying. But I wanted to set it up so I could get used to having a B cam and see if I liked it, and then I'd commit to buying it properly.
Do like a switch, like close up to your hands and stuff.
Yeah, so I've got like one that's kind of filming just the neck of the guitar up close, and then I've still got this wide shot, so you can see this atrocity. But the Sony
Hey,
stuff's amazing.
stop.
Nigel
So the-
redeemed a treat for your puppy. Is your puppy around?
Actually, yeah, my puppy needs a treat too. So hold up.
Aw, we get
I'll
to
go grab
see
the doggo.
her. Yes. go
Yeah.
get
Jane,
her.
Bring her in
Jane
and give
says
her a treat. Hold on.
hydrate too.
Yeah, I just hydrated. Yay, we get to see the puppy.
Puppy love. Mm-hmm. There's some
Yummy.
blues for you.
Let me see.
Doggy.
Aww. A greyhound. It's like The Simpsons. They had a greyhound, remember?
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh.
Look at that physique.
Those are
good.
fast.
Yeah.
They're,
Greyhounds.
yeah, like 65 Ks.
That's what I take to go to your house, babe. I go and take a greyhound bus.
I actually jump on this dog and we just ride faster than a horse.
Aww.
They're fast as a rocket, but they also just sleep all day. They're just super couch potatoes. It's
So they're
glorious.
chill, right? They're like chill dogs, or do they need a lot of like attention and a lot of like exercise because they're used to being like
They are like perfect apartment dogs. As much like they're big, but they sleep 20 hours a day. All they really need is like a 15 to 20-minute walk. Like that's all the exercise they really want. And as for attention, like she loves lots of attention, but you can just not give her any and she'll be fine. She'll occasionally come in and like nuzzle you and be like, I want pats now. But
Love
they're
me.
pretty good at just kind of just being.
yeah. I
Like
love the
they're
clip.
perfect apartment dogs.
I love the clip of from the other stream, the last stream where she wanted a pet and you were like just shredding while you were petting her. We were talking about it before the stream.
Yeah.
So cute.
I had to clip that when it happened.
Oh yeah. She's
How old is she?
Oh, you're not hungry.
How old is she?
She is 5 now.
5.
We got her off
Oh,
the track at about
Kai.
4 because she was we adopted her. So she was a race dog. I think she won one race and then like placed a few times.
Oh, nice.
And then we took her in.
So you have a champion
really-
dog.
Yeah, she's got one race. We found a picture of her old owner, and it's exactly what you'd expect a greyhound owner to look like. It was really funny.
Really? Like how?
It was just like he had his cap on, like I think he had like one tooth left. And he was just like
What? I didn't know what to expect when you said that. I thought maybe like a pristine, like with a bow tie and like
I'm
a
thinking like
proper
Oh,
hat.
Ross or
total opposite.
something.
Like
yeah,
posh.
rough as guts looking dude.
What?
A
I
little
did not.
little Dami was like way skinnier because they sort of keep them fairly light so they can run the fastest they can. Like keep them healthy,
Aw.
but
Yeah.
not super. Like now she's sort of packed on a few kilos because that's what you're supposed to do. But yeah, she's such a wonderful dog.
That's awesome. Yeah, a little
Super happy to have
companion.
her. Dogs just add so much to your life. It's
Yeah, you know
something
me.
about having a pet.
Yeah, I love my dog, so I'm obsessed with my dog. Like I have a Pomsky. She's a mix, Pomeranian and a Husky mix. So she looks like a.
Does it have the
tiny-
eyes?
Yeah, she got the icy blue eyes, and then she has like
I
the
love
foxy
those.
face, but she has like the fluff of a Pomeranian, but she looks like a miniature husky really, but she has like the color of a Pomeranian, like blonde and orange and white. So she's gorgeous.
amazing.
I'm in love with her. I don't know what I'll do when she leaves me, but she's 5 also. She's a Christmas puppy. She was born on Christmas Day. So she's
Oh, cute.
yeah, so she's I love her too. I know the love. I know the puppy love. It's real.
Yeah. Oh, she's just such a ledge. It's just the nice little things. Like I'll be sitting in here, kind of like maybe doing some recording or something, and then suddenly she'll just come up, she'll just nuzzle you, and it's like, oh, how you going? Give a little
Yeah.
pat.
Yeah, it's
And then
it's
other times she'll just go absolutely spaz with her toys. Like you'll be sitting in your room and then you'll just hear like aggressive squeaking as she's just going at her toys.
like like those little
Yeah.
squeeze. Yes, when I'm on the phone with Luna, he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's Holly. She's like playing with her toy, and it sounds like something squealing in the background." I'm like, "Beep, beep."
I really
My
hear
wife
squeaky
gets
noises.
exactly the same
Squeaky
thing.
noise, yeah. So
Uh,
going back to music. So you said you
Yep.
did mention one of your favorite singers. So can you name 5 of your favorite guitarists and 5 favorite bands?
okay. I did make a list for this to help me out.
Thanks, Jake,
Hold
for
up.
the follow.
I can definitely give you one. I can give you my 2 top guitarists, and the others are just going to be completely what mood I'm in at the time.
Okay.
But let's have a look. I just want to confirm what I wrote. So, top number 1 guitarist of all time is David Gilmour. Just one of those untouchable guitar players that I love everything he does. I love his tone, his approach to playing, and just, yeah, even his songwriting. He's just an all-round package. I love David Gilmour.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
And like I said, he was the big inspiration for me when I was younger. Like I just wanted to. First guitar solo I ever learnt was "Time" by Pink Floyd. That was when I first I'm gonna learn a solo note for note, and it was
That's
that
my
one.
favorite song too. Time. Yeah.
Ah, it's so good.
So you know how to play that song really well too.
Yeah, I can never nail the rhythm part, but I can do the solo. Pretty solid these days. There was a point, I could maybe pull it off still, but there was a point where I could play Dark Side of the Moon just start to finish. No worries.
Nice.
I just knew it all.
Oh my God, you can. I think you really can. And there's been a few streamers here that've done it. If you don't know Joshua Wu, if you haven't like found him yet, definitely give him a follow because he loves Pink Floyd and he's done Dark Side of the Moon and he'll loop everything and he does the singing part, like the Great Big Gig in the Sky. He'll do the screaming sound and you'll see he'll get all red and he'll just like belt it out. That won me. And plus he can sing.
Badass.
Yes.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's
amazing.
a great singer.
He's a young kid too. He's really young. He's from London, and also he does sing. You know, he's a singer songwriter too, but he does the band thing. But yeah, like he did the whole thing, and I was like, whoa! When he did that, and he could sing Jeff Buckley like really well too.
Oh, I love Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley's awesome.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yen introduced me to a couple of his songs, and I'm like, holy shit, this is freaking awesome. Like I had never actually heard him until Yen showed me. And I'm like,
there's some real hip stuff in there harmonically too. Like he's got this super soul-y voice and then just these really interesting melodies. Just and when he just goes to town, like at the end of I think it's at the end of Grace when he's just going for it. He's just kind of scatting away, hitting shit. And it's like you just tell he's just in the studio and he's just completely in the zone, just not worrying about what he's singing, just fucking putting it out there.
Yeah, those are my top two guys. Chris Cornell and Jeff Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley's amazing. I was really late to the Buckley party because I remember when I was a kid I used to listen to his version of Hallelujah all the time because it's arguably better than Leonard Cohen's, depending on who you are.
Yeah, I agree.
That's probably a bit touchy, but
no, I own it. You know, I think so too.
But I got into the Grace album probably like a couple years ago, so really late to it. But it's awesome. Just loved it.
Luna just discovered it through me, so I mean, it's the music lives on.
And it's so crazy. The whole story around him, like sort of in and out like a flash.
Yeah, he died really young.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that he never got to see the level of fame that he ended up hitting.
They're doing a biopic, biography film about him in the works.
Oh, that'd be good.
I wonder who's going to play him. That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what actor they get in to play a famous artist.
and then you're like, no.
Like they didn't get it right.
They actually did well with Queen, though.
Yeah, he actually pulled off Freddie pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's ever going to look like the artist. You're never going to pull it off entirely. But yeah, mad respect to people who try it.
So who's your second?
Second is actually a more recent guitarist that I've been into for the last couple of years, and in my opinion, probably one of the best like new guitar players around. It's a guy by the name of Chris Buck. I can gush about that guy for ages, but his touch on the instrument is just unbeatable. Like he just has this beautiful way with melody, beautiful. His bends are glorious. He's the guy that I nicked all these little like, well, wrong tone, hold up. I nicked all of like, all those kind of like really nice extra bends and stuff like that. He's got these beautiful slides around. He usually just plays fingers a lot of the time as well. Gets that really nice meaty tone. And just everything he plays Like there's never a disappointment when you watch him play. It's just always going to be super tasty, just exactly what you want to hear. He never really does anything you're like, I might have done something different, but he's just like, nah, it's like that's perfect. Can't touch that. And he's a player that I genuinely will not try and learn any of his stuff because you can learn the notes, but you can't match the feel that he has.
Oh no, yeah.
There's something about him. He's a big reason I got back into the Rev Stars as well. I played these things years and years ago, and then I was watching Chris Buck, and I was like, oh, Rev Stars, I should try one of those out, and I fell in love with it. But if I could, that's actually one of the songs I'll bring up later is Buck and Evans, his band. It's just, you listen to that, it's just layered with glorious guitar playing all over.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Number 3?
Number 3. The one that's popping into my brain was Zakk Wylde. Not as much probably didn't influence me as much as a player, as much as he influenced me as a stage presence. Like when you watch Zakk play, it's an experience. It's just this massive, sweaty dude. Usually he smells like shit. And he's just absolutely relentless. Marshall's fucking dimed. You can't hear shit after the gig. It's just, it's
It's
raw
all
and
squeals.
Yeah, just
So
squeals
raw.
every second. And just so aggressive, so clean and fast. And it's an experience. And I love it.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing him with Ozzy, and I actually really love the way Zakk plays Randy's parts in a lot of the old like Blizzard of Oz stuff. Because you can tell he has mad respect for Randy. And he stays pretty true, but he also adds that little Zakk flair to it. That's really nice. And watching him live with him, like I've just started rewatching the Budokan concert again, which is one of my all-time favorite live videos to watch because it's literally just 4 dudes. It's Ozzy, actually it's 5, but 1 dude's off stage. So you got Keys off stage, you got Robert Trujillo on bass, you
You don't
Zakk
belong
on the guitar.
upstage. You're in the background playing backing stuff for us.
It is a bit weird that they threw the Keys guy out the back. But Zack's just going off like it's just everything you imagine from a rock gig. It's just a wall of Marshall, guy with a Les Paul slung around his balls, and just it's just so good. Love it. I wanted to be Zakk for a really long time. Like I used to bring a little step stool so I could like put my foot up on it and look cool and stuff. Even though I didn't really look that cool, but I tried. And he was a big reason I wanted to like try and front. Like I wanted to try and front a band at the start because I wanted to be like Zakk. I wanted to front something like Black Label.
Yeah.
But then I didn't end up doing that.
You still can.
I still can. There's a side to frontman that I'm not so good at, which is the kind of real projective hype thing. I'm not super good with connecting with an audience on stage. I find it really hard. Like without just going like, and this next song is this by us. I hope you enjoy it.
Just monotone,
But you're still you're natural on stream, so do you feel like in person it becomes more like daunting to be that way in a crowd?
Possibly. I feel like maybe after doing streaming I'll probably be better at it
Yeah,
now.
I think
but
so.
That's usually the case. Like I was always like a closed individual. I was never good at speaking, especially in front of a camera. And
oh yeah, it's weird.
And then stream happened, and I'm like, I can actually talk in front of a camera now.
Yeah, it's really cool. I noticed this the other day because I've been wanting to start getting into doing some vlogging over on YouTube and just doing like gig vlogs and stuff like that. And I was just sort of testing it out the other day. I'm like, I can actually hold this out and like talk to this and communicate pretty normally. I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to do that a couple of years ago.
The one thing that's daunting is if you take it out in public and do it, and people are like around watching you, and you're just talking to your camera, you know. And those are the things that you kind of start to like not think about the surroundings and think about what you're doing, like your objective, you know.
That's definitely something I'll have to learn. A lot of the places we've been have been like where I've been testing. It's quiet, like there's a few people around, but I haven't tried to do it on like a busy train.
Yeah.
Which I might not try on a busy train, but I'll see how I go.
You'd be sitting around a crowd of people. Hi guys, and everybody's like, "Who the hell's he talking to?"
I mean, imagine being an IRL streamer like I do IRLs in New York City, and I'm in like big parts where there's a lot of people. Now it's kind of less, right? But and I'm spinning around and I do this thing. I'm like, I'm bringing the New York City vibes, and I'm like spinning around and like I'm showing you the vibes, and I'm spinning, because that's the thing I do, just to show them the landscape or the buildings. And you'll be surprised. You'll be like, "Hey, is this for YouTube?" And like they want to be in it. And
Yeah, it's becoming more of a norm, so people understand now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's like normal now. It's weird, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Unless
what's
you
your
come across a
channel?
giant Oscar or the Grouch looking pimp along the way.
Oh yeah, we had an incident last time he came to visit for Valentine's Day that well it wasn't an incident, but like I went to the bathroom and he was holding my camera, and then I came out and then there was this guy like literally with like a
Giant
cane,
pimp. Yeah.
a hat,
Jesus.
all in like green, like puke green, like suited up, but it was all the same color with
Like
a
a giant
cane.
fluffy jacket.
Oh my god.
And
And
then
then
we're
he's
like,
holding his jacket up like this in front of his face as
"I
he's
wanna
walking
be a
by.
camera." And then he's like, it's good, it's facing me. And I'm like, and then yesterday it was funny because we were doing an IRL and he brought it up. Remember that guy, the Oscar the Grouch looking pimp guy? And I was like, yeah. I was like, imagine, that's so hilarious. I was like, what kind of girls does he like? I only like girls that are total trash. And then I was like, I only like girls that have rotten attitudes. Because Oscar the Grouch, that's what they used to say. And we were just cracking up on our stupidity
That's
about
so good.
the pimp or
Yeah,
whatever.
if you ever end up doing vlogs out in public, like you come across some interesting stuff and people, and
Oh,
it
for
makes
sure.
content.
It's like a magnet as well. Like having a camera on you and doing that, people just want to come and talk to you about stuff. Because I went out, like I think it was last Friday. I went out with a mate. Because I just gotten the new camera and we're like, let's go do some photos in the city. And just like every second someone's coming up to us like, oh, how's your photos going tonight? You take good photos? It's like, yeah, I guess.
Are you trying to
Same thing
break
with
the
the
ice?
guitar.
What,
Every
you
time
want
you're
to
on the thing, it's like, oh, what guitar you got? You're catching public transport with guitar. Everyone just wants to talk to you about it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's
What
not.
kind of guitar you got? Wood.
I always hesitate to say because there was a point there where I was traveling with a really expensive guitar and I was like, oh, I don't kind of want to tell you what I'm traveling with, to be honest.
It's a Fender Squire.
It's actually just a bunch of plywood, to be honest, mate. It's not even a guitar.
Threw on a couple of metal strings and it made noise. It worked.
So
Straight barbed wire.
I think he's playing with his guitar, like it's itching him to play another song for us, guys. So, what do you think?
I can do that. How about I plug the new single? I'll play that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want you to plug the new single and also tell us more about that. And I know you're revamping the whole the band and the name. So do you have a new band name
Absolutely.
too?
So the new band name is Just a Leo.
Just a
Is,
Leo. Ooh.
Yeah. It actually
There's
came about.
a Leo in the band.
Carly, the singer, is a Leo.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Leos are good leaders and they like being in front and they're like in charge. So that's a good. So
Yeah, for
so
sure.
what's the name of the band?
So it's
Just a Leo.
Just a Leo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it actually
wow.
came from the Deep Purple song "Maybe I'm a Leo," and then we sort of reworked that because "Maybe I'm a Leo" is quite a mouthful of a name. So kind of condensed it down. We're thinking like Just Leo, but then somebody literally came out the day we chose that name. Some artist came out with a new single on Spotify called Just Leo. I'm like, that's probably a sign that we should just tweak it a tiny bit.
It's tough coming up with stuff without having someone already have taken it. And
hard.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. Like I know someone out there's probably got Just a Leo as well, but
I
we're
like it.
sticking with it for now. Until we get lawsuit, we're fine. But yeah, that's the new band name. It was mainly because we're trying to be more Carly centric, like more based around the singer, more than like us. Like it's still a band, but
That's
we want
such
her
a
to be
Leo
really the
name for a
forefront.
band. That's such a Leo thing to have. Like, what's
Yeah.
gonna be named after me? You know, I love that. That's awesome.
Well, it's funny because she almost doesn't sort of want, like she wants the focus. We more want the focus on her than I think she wants the focus on her. If that makes sense.
But you
although I
need,
think,
you need
Carly's
that.
warming up to it now.
You need a strong front person, front man,
Yeah.
front woman.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
definitely.
when she's
like,
on stage, it's badass. She just kills it on stage. Super, like really strong presence, heaps of confidence.
yeah,
Sweet.
you have to.
It's lovely.
I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
you can request one leader. Oh, Moxie. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions
An easy one.
for Matt, let us know.
Yeah, give me questions.
So we're gonna hear the new
Yeah.
single, the new song
Yep.
from Just a Leo, and that's
Just
yeah.
a Leo.
A
So
Leo
this
isn't
is-
just a Leo. A Leo is a lot of things.
Exactly.
So that's what's cool about it.
But this one's coming out shameless self-plug. This one's coming out your Thursday, I think, if you're in Eastern Standard Time, but it'll be Friday in Australia.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Stay tuned.
It's not
Awesome.
shameless.
It's not shameless. You're supposed to. This is why you're here. You're supposed to be like a Leo right now. You're supposed to shine.
I'm the worst plugger of my stuff, though. I'm always like, well, you can check it out if you want, I guess.
Plug it all.
Yeah. My bandmate, like Andy, the drummer's way better at that sort of stuff. Like he's way more like, yo, we got a new thing coming out. Let's do it. Like, check it out. Like he dropped in my chat the other day and he's like, yo, chat, are you guys checking out the new song that's coming out? And I was like, yeah, probably. I don't know. So I'm just not good at it. I suck at plugging shit. I don't know why.
You need at least one person in the band that is totally about it, and then then you
Got
guys.
the confidence.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, what's the name of the
Let's do
song?
it. So this is called I Think About My Faith.
All right, here on YenYorkCity Live.
I think about my faith in you. I know I am looking for something true. I think about my faith in you. I want to go through it all with you. But when I talk and pour my heart, why don't you answer? Be broke, but you got the hammer. I try to reassure you, you ignore. So how can I have faith in you?
I've got changing patch would randomly stop the song at the end. Sorry.
No.
You can enjoy that last 1 second when it comes out.
That was awesome. Yeah, I'm getting like
Thank you.
Adele vibes. Also, Adele. I could see why you said
Probably a bit of that.
a little bit of the poppy, but rock. But what were the kind of songs you had before? You said that you were compared to Led Zeppelin a lot.
There was a lot of, I haven't got one here, but like main riffs, kind of like. It's kind of like more riffy rock kind of stuff, which was fun. Don't get me wrong, but we just kind of evolved more into this stuff where we're sort of more layers. I'm less a focus instrument now. I'm sort of moving much more into textures, which is really fun because I get to play around with like crazy reverbs and worrying less about what note I'm playing and more like what texture I'm playing.
Get more sound effects.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been playing around with getting delays and then like ramping up the delay time, so you like get this almost takeoff kind of sound.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of really fun stuff.
Yen's about like audio sound, like guitar sounds and stuff, like having atmospheric sounds and whatnot.
Yeah. See, I used to not be like I was just a classic like cable into an amp kind of guy. And I've just
turn it up to
completely, like,
11 and give me the distortion. That's all I need.
Well, it's like, yeah, give me all the distortion and all the reverb. Like, just dime that spring reverb in the amp, please. I can't give me enough.
Give me the tubes.
Yeah, no, it's sort of just changed a lot.
So do you have a pedal board with like different pedals? If you do, what are your pedals of choice?
Everything I do is through amp modeling. So Line 6 Helix is my modeler of choice. It's just like a floor unit. Hello, darling.
Yeah.
Aww.
Hi, sweetie. Oh.
So it's all so Line 6 Helix is an amp modeler that has all the effects and all the amps in it. And the main thing I do is like I usually just have like a good clean and a good dirty bass, and then I can kind of add effects as needed on top of that. But most of the time it's just like a nice clean with a bit of reverb and delay, and then she's so cute.
Oh, she's like, oh, you love me. You love me.
So you watch. This is what happens when you stop.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not done yet.
I know,
stop
I
padding. Once you start.
know. I love when they do that. It's like they go in there and like, oh.
This feels good. You can't just stop.
Yeah,
It's like
just
you only
let-
massaged one area. I need the other side done.
But I think the cool thing I really like about the modeling is it's infinitely variable as what I can do with what I can do. I don't have to worry about, oh, I want this sound on an album now. I have to find out how I can afford to buy this $400 pedal that does it. Bless you.
Oh.
But, but what I've got in here is just like pretty much any effect I could ever want, which is glorious. So, I'm not super intense on effects. I just usually have a couple, like for a song, I might have a certain effect that I use, but for the most part, it's just a very generic sound of just like a nice clean and a nice dirty. And then seasoned to taste.
Oh, it sounds really amazing. I like it.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you.
A little salt in there.
So you guys got the exclusive here of the new single. Okay, so that make sure to go and do you guys you have a Spotify? Is this gonna change the name on Spotify, or that's older stuff is gonna stay with the last name?
Older stuff will stay under Zenith Moon, and then the new Spotify will be just Leo. But I don't think that's going to be out till Friday when it gets released. So I'll just drop that in Discord or wherever.
Awesome.
But it'll be out soon.
Soon.
Very
TM.
excited for it though. This has been like a year in the making trying to get this out. So it's so excited to finally be releasing it. We actually started off with 8 tracks. We recorded 8 tracks last year and only 4 have made it to the actual end stage now.
Oh, nice.
So
And we get through it and be like, no, you go, sorry.
Are they opening up venues? Are people starting to have small shows in venues?
Yeah. So Melbourne, Australia's sort of been really good with the COVID thing, and Melbourne's now opening up quite a lot. In fact, I'm going to a gig on Saturday.
Okay.
And it's like you got gigs back now. I think there's definitely limits. Like they're all ticketed, and it's like once you're sold out, there's no like guest list or anything. It's like you get a ticket to go or you don't go.
Really, Max? Did
And
you
stuff like that.
go?
Carnival played a few days ago. What?
You cheeky devil, Max.
Oh man.
Actually,
We
yeah,
gotta catch
they
them
actually
when they
had
come
to plan
around.
A whole tour,
I
didn't
won't
they?
miss them if they come to New York
Yeah.
City. We're going.
You gotta go.
I would pay
in
money.
Australia.
Yeah, that's a band I want to see. That's on a bucket list.
Carnival?
Yeah, I'd love to see
Yeah.
Carnival. They
Such a great
their
group.
show would be amazing to see.
Mm. talented dudes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Great songwriters. Every member of that band is extremely talented at what they do. And it's
So
I love when
September.
you get
Max
that
is
beautiful.
going to Australia to see them.
No, they're going to Sweden in September because I remember reading about it and I was like, oh man, that's Max is probably gonna go, I bet. So yeah.
They're doing like the whole isn't it the Sound Awake anniversary tour or something? Is that what they're doing?
Oh, I don't know.
I think something like that. It's like the anniversary of one of their albums. I think they're touring it.
That's gonna be amazing. So that's awesome.
Oh,
So you
it's
got a
phenomenal.
show on Saturday. Well, I hope that goes really well. Are you gonna live stream any of your shows, by the way?
There's been plans to do live stream shows with Zenith. The hard part I'm finding is figuring out how to do audio for them. Because there's a lot of members.
If you, depending on the boards that are being used in house, if everything's getting plugged into the board, you can even do like a monitor mix out into the audio into your computer. If you have like an interface or something that you could bring on your laptop or something that can house the stream,
Interesting. Okay.
just run their monitor board out as a separate mix and or the front of house mix, depending on what mix you prefer, and then throw that into your interface right onto the stream, and then you can just have them adjust the audio there. As long as it doesn't clip and stuff, it should be even as long as the mix is solid.
Sweet. Might actually look into that. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'll be fun to actually see, or behind the scenes. That's really nice.
You can also
That's
if you
actually why I
do-
want to start the vlog thing, is for that behind the scenes of
Boom, there you
Yeah.
go.
going on.
Yes.
if you do like a monitor, like a separate monitor mix, like as if it was another person in the band, you can do it with the headphones first and have you adjust it to the way you want the stream to hear it. And then you can
nice.
unplug your headphones and then plug that right into your interface.
Sweet. I'll definitely suss into that. That'd be good. That's been the hardest part, was routing audio and just finding somewhere that's got good enough internet to stream it.
So what was
Yeah,
the
Yeah, that's
worst?
the other thing, internet. Yeah.
One thing I like to ask, because it's kind of funny to hear everybody's different stories. What was the worst and best live show that you've had? I just think those are so fun to hear about. When audios goes wrong or something happens with the venue. What was your craziest experience in a live show?
So worst gig is that's an easy one because there's only one that's stands out as the worst. We got booked for a gig at a pretty good venue. It was about a 500 cap venue.
Oh.
The day after the AFL Grand Final, which is absolutely fucking enormous in Melbourne, huge. And the day after that is just dumb. No one's going to show up for starters because they're going to be hungover or just depressed because their team lost.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get into we're sort of setting up the set for it, and we're like, all right, we need to get a bass player in to come play this, and we need a guitar player because we're three people in Zenith. Well, just the Leo now. We're three people, and then we hire extra. Although now we're using tracks, but at the time we were just grabbing who we needed for a gig. So I got a guitar player who I trusted, and he did a great job. But we got a bass player who was a really good bass player, just didn't learn any of our stuff and played everything very wrong
Damn.
for the whole gig.
Don't you love it?
So, yeah, so we had a bass player playing everything wrong. There was, I think my mum and dad were the only people that showed up to the gig
What?
because it was grand final day, so no one came. So it was a 500 cap venue with 2 people in it. And then to add insult to the injury was both the singer and the drummer had gastro and were trying not to shit and throw up the whole gig.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
man.
So it's just this absolute just cesspool of a gig.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
it
that's
was
why.
pretty hard to get to the end of.
And then yeah.
So that was our worst.
It's tough.
Well, if
Yeah.
it wasn't for there not being a crowd, and if there was a big crowd, I'm sure the gas would have just cleared it out anyways.
That's very true. Well, that was actually the bonus, was that there was no one there, because if someone came and saw that gig, they would just thought we were some absolute beginner band who'd never played anything before, because it just sounded... I've got videos of it too. I don't know where they are anymore, but I've got videos of that gig, and it's
It's documented.
it's just it's atrocious. Like you'll be going into a section and just the bass player will be hitting completely the wrong note, and it's just like this real warbly sound going on. That was fun.
Wow.
Oh, and I also forgot before that gig, so my jeans had like a massive rip in them. I was like, oh, like mum and dad are coming to the gig. I was going to buy me some jeans. They bought me some jeans. I instantly took my other ones off, ripped them to pieces, and then found out the jeans they bought me were the wrong size and didn't fit.
Oh no!
Right before, like we had about 20 minutes before we went on, so I had to go down the street to find a fucking store to get some jeans to play this gig. So it was just like another thing that went wrong before that one.
It was Murphy's Law that day. That's what happened.
Oh yeah, everything that could go wrong was definitely going wrong that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did not. That's the worst gig we've ever had. Everything from there is like we've had some gigs that just been like maybe not the best gig for individuals, but overall pretty good.
Well, I'm sure that it's not as bad as Luna's potential new band that he's in, because yesterday I streamed a little bit. I streamed a little bit, like the behind the scenes, because that's what I do. I go to like underground places and events, and I just like to get close to the band and ask them questions and then stream it. So this is how this podcast became a thing, because I'm like, well, I can't go to gigs. I can't go, like I streamed the David Gilmour concert, which I shouldn't have done, but I've done that. Like I've streamed shows for people and things like that. But smaller venues, this is kind of better, you know, because you get very close to the band. So yesterday we were talking about it, and I asked them the question, and the singer said, I shat my pants. I pretty much shit my pants. That was the worst gig I ever had. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then he says, I went to crowd surf, and I jumped to the crowd, and the crowd didn't catch me, and I like kind of went down for the count, and I stomped really hard, and then I shit. And he said he shit his pants.
It was so much force. Shit came out of him.
and then he said I had 2 more songs for the set, and I had to finish it because it was like a big thing. No. And then he said I went back up on stage with my whole back, and it had, you know. And then I was like, what? God. I'm like, wait a second. I couldn't like understand what he meant. I was like, what do you mean? You like went into the crowd and it was like shit or mud or like somebody else or a dog or something? And he's like, no, it was my own shit, he said. And I was like, holy shit, literally.
No.
Oh man.
Oh, that's brutal.
I said, that's the worst one I've ever heard in all the podcasts. I'd never heard anybody.
Having such a badass show, having so much fun, you jump to get a crowd surf, they miss, you land on your feet, you shit yourself.
And then finish the show with
shitting your ass. Like
At least he didn't crowd surf. They caught him and then he shit.
Oh, that would have been a really shitty story.
And then they dropped him. You shit yourself.
Sounds like a great time, Q says. Yeah, that's a shitty moment right there. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, so that's not so bad. That would have been, that's one for the books, I think. But yeah,
mud butt. that's the true definition of mud butt right there.
Yeah.
I took some random bystander out with my guitar headstock at a gig once.
Oh.
It was like this floor gig. Because it's worth saying, like we're a very small band, like we play very small gigs, but it was this weird floor venue, and for some reason, some genius decided to put the stage in front of the toilets, so people had to walk through the stage to get to the toilets.
What?
Yeah, weird one. So they're like, oh yeah, don't go over this line because this is where people walk. I was like, okay, I can try and remember that. But when I'm in the gig, I'm just like going for it, and there was this one section, I went for this big like massive turnaround, and a chick was just coming out of the toilet, and I just went,
oh no,
whack, straight into her head. I felt so bad. I went up to her after the gig. She was fine. She didn't mind, but I felt so guilty. I'm like, no, the one thing I didn't want to do.
Was she like wasted and she didn't feel it? She was like, I don't know what happened.
I don't think she was wasted. I don't think I got her as hard as I thought I did. Like I thought I really like clocked her, but I mustn't have hit her nearly as hard. Oh, I felt so bad.
Wow. Yeah, you hear a lot of stories. So what was the best gig that you have to this moment?
I think probably one of the supports we've done with a mate's band called Creek. Every time we support them, it's always really fun. They pull a good crowd. It's usually we play really well and we have a good time. So any of those, it's really, we've never had any gigs, at least I haven't had any gigs where I'm like, yeah, this was just the best thing ever. I haven't really had any of those. I've just had gigs where I'm like, yeah, I played really well this night. It was really fun, and people seemed to get around it, and people enjoyed it, and all of that. But that's normally always when
So
we support free.
To come, there will be many more amazing gigs to come. That will be awesome. So yeah, I definitely wish you the best of luck with all those shows that are coming up, because it's great that now you like feel more confident because of the streams that you've done. So you feel like you can be more yourself because you've been streaming for an audience this whole year in a different way, right? So it's now it's like, okay, now you're in front of a real crowd, and that's in person.
That'd be fun.
So that's gonna be great. I can't wait to hear how that felt and the experience of going back out there.
The one thing is, if you're gonna go and like actually talk, like say something on stage in front of people, like now that you have the experience from like streaming in person, it's still gonna be a little daunting because you're in person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the way I would envision it would be like I am looking at cameras, like I'm looking at a camera, like I'm streaming, and people
really
are
funny,
like,
because you always do this different thing when you first start streaming. You're like, that's a person.
Yeah, that's a person.
And now you got to flip it.
It's like that name belongs to someone.
yeah, exactly. Nah, it'll be good to get back out on stage. It's funny though, because I've always felt more confident on stage than like in the audience. Once I get on stage, I just feel really good. It's just my home base. I feel really confident, really happy up there. It's when I got to talk to people. I'm like really socially awkward.
No,
Most
you're
people
not.
meet me in person.
Not anymore.
No,
You've been great now.
Yeah, but I've had my mate's girlfriend used to think I didn't like her because I was really quiet and I didn't talk much. Because I usually just in social situations, especially when there's lots of people, I just shut down. I don't really talk much. I get really quiet.
I'm like that.
I think a lot of people interpret that as I don't like them. It's not that.
You just got to get to know the person and then open up. I'm like that too.
I'm very sheltered.
Yeah. I'm super introverted, and I think most people meet me and I'm not standoffish, but I think it comes across that way to a lot of people when they first meet me for like IRL.
Yeah, I think I get that impression too. And then people think, oh, she's telling herself or something, blah, blah, blah. And then once they get to know me, they're like, no, at first I was like a little bit like, I don't know, like they almost like an intimidation or like thinking I'm going to be a certain way. And then once they talk to me, like, you're so chill. Like at first I thought you weren't going to you didn't like me or something. And I'm like, no, I know. I hear that a lot. But then,
I get that a lot
too. It takes time. So it's a good
People
thing.
think I'm a wild child outside of stream. Like I'm like crazy.
He used to be. Don't say you're not, because you used to be. You used to have a past, all right? So don't say that you weren't a wild child.
On stream, yeah, but not off stream. Off stream, I wouldn't do shit. I would just be home.
Well, now he calmed down a lot. I think we all calm down after a certain time, but I think more now, people that are animated, right, on stream get more attention. Like the more crazy lights you have, or the more like, like intricate stuff. But with you, I like your setup. You just have like the blue lights in the back. And like you said, sometimes it's the smaller things, right? Like the minimal type of things, because you're just sitting there with your guitar and it's a focus. And I like that too.
Well, I always tried to keep it really minimal. I didn't like streams that had heaps of shit across the screen. I always find it a little bit distracting. I like it. More power to you. Like people must like it because pretty much everyone's doing it. But I really liked that clean approach. Like I've just got mainly just this camera. How it's looking now is pretty much my stream, with like notifications coming up down here, and then now I've got like a B cam that kind of sits up in this top corner here. It's kind of my guitar cam. But other than that, like I just like to keep it really stripped back. Only really special occasions I might put, like if I'm doing a charity stream, I'll put a donation goal up in the top corner and stuff like that. But otherwise, I try to keep it very just clean. That's how I like it.
So speaking of goals, what's your goal for the end of this year on Twitch and also with the band? What is it that you really want to achieve by the end of 2021?
I think the band's just to hit the ground running, try and push that as far as we can. I know we've got 4 singles we want to get out, and we want to try and just get that ball rolling as hard as we can, because it's been a bit sort of hit and miss with the other name and how we're doing it. We just didn't really know what we're doing, but we've sort of taken 4 years of knowledge, and now we're trying to put that into just a totally new thing and see how far we can push it, like with marketing and all of that sort of fun stuff. But
so like videos and things like that?
Yeah, like we finally teed up. We've had this amazing photographer, videographer that we use called Kira Lee. She's phenomenal. She does, like, he'll give her a song and she'll just come back with an idea that looks like hits the nail on the head. She'll storyboard the whole thing out. You know exactly what's happening, and usually end product, it's going to come out looking amazing. She just does incredible work.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see that, and merch too.
Yeah, keen. Yeah, so merch will be coming out as well. Definitely going to start that ball rolling. So there's all of that sort of just pushing the band as far as we can over this year. Then personal goals, like I kind of want to branch out a little bit more. I want to start getting into a bit more YouTube content, trying to do something over there. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do over there. And like I said, I want to sort of start getting into a bit more of a vloggy thing, just like going to rehearsals and like when there's special stuff happening, try and vlog that and see what I can do with it. I've never really done the editing side of it, so that's sort of, I know I can get the footage. I can get really nice footage. I'm really keen to try and tackle editing and making it look like a story and really nice and stuff.
I think people will watch it.
Editing is an art. It's like a form of art.
For sure.
You can be
Once you get the hang
creative.
of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely want you to
definitely
do that.
very
I would be subscribing in a heartbeat and watching and liking, sharing, subscribing and hitting that like notification bell and all that
Ring
stuff.
the bell.
Yes. I think you would be really good. You have the personality, you have the look, you have the everything, the skill. I think you can go really far when it comes to that kind of
thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah.
You can do big things, Matt. You can do big things.
Right, guys? Right, Chad? Like, Matt got everything that he could just go out there and do it and just really get himself out there, not only with the band and Twitch, but also as a content creator and, like, musician. So, yeah, dive into that and have fun. I think the whole thing about that is, like, getting to know, like, the programs and editing stuff. And then it's fun. After that, it's so much fun because you get creative.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I love that fumble period where you have no idea what you're doing, but then you start to figure it out. And there's something really fun about that. It's the same thing like with cameras. Like I've started getting really into cameras lately, and I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I've been going out doing a lot more photography and just sort of figuring shit out slowly.
Yeah,
It's
learning like the settings, ISO.
Yeah, and you watch
f-stop.
videos about like, here's some tips on photography. And like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. So it's like, oh, I'll try that out next time. And you're like, oh shit, everything's better now. And you just sort of keep adding on that. And I love that. And yeah,
I
'Cause
think
I
you're gonna do well.
always really, oh, thank you. Because I've always wanted to do the YouTube thing. Because I'm a very avid YouTube watcher. I'm excessively, it's like an addiction. Like I think I looked at my channel, like my analytics for apps the other day, and it was like 6 to 8 hours of YouTube a day, which was.
Your dog is walking around in circles in the back. You're trying to
Gotta find
find
a comfy spot.
Okay.
Aww. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up soon because the poor girl back there. She's like, she probably does want to go out, guys, because my dog does a little dance
He's
too.
all right.
But yeah,
He's pretty chill.
Yeah, sometimes mine, when she does the little turny thing, it means like, I'm starting, something else is turning in my tummy.
Oh, no, she's usually just doing that because she's getting comfy. She'll sort of get up and walk around and then.
What a sweetie.
Yeah, she is a sweetie.
So
yeah,
guys.
I've sort of.
Sweet.
Oops, sorry. No, you go.
No. I wanted to say, guys, in the chat, this is your last opportunity. If you want to ask Matt anything specific, we have him here on the hot seat. Yeah, any questions before we ask him about the 12 songs to the soundtrack of his life, and he's gonna serenade us one more time. So just think about it. You got him here for just this moment, just a little while longer. So
I'm gonna sing some.
Matt, after you're done with Toofy, if you ever want to do some stuff with me, I could throw some drums on some tracks for you.
Dude, 100%, anytime. I always say this: if anyone wants to do anything, like me to do anything, just shoot me a message. I'm always down.
You can do it.
everybody's gonna be like messaging Matt now because they probably thought like, man, I don't know, he's
too skillful for me. I don't know. It's kind of intimidating.
I always reserve though. Like if I like the thing, I'm always happy to do it. Because I don't really take money for it. It's just I like to record stuff for people as long as I like the song. If I struggle with what the song is or stuff like that, and it's not fun for me, like
you have to be
I
into
usually
it.
won't.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
it. Feel it.
Because it's sort of like giving you a piece of me, and I want to make sure that that's a fair representation of me and what I like.
Ooh, have a cigar, you're gonna go. That's my song. That's another favorite.
That's a great track.
Oh, let's do that one then. I want you to close out with Time though, but if you could do
I can do Time.
If you could do Have a Cigar too. I actually
I'll do
requested Have a Cigar, but your queue was closed already and you were finishing. I was like, damn it.
Sorry.
No. So now I get it. Yes.
But I might do Time because I can play Time better than I can play that other song that we said.
Okay. And
Have a Cigar.
okay. Yeah. Either or. I love both of them. Time is definitely one of my that would be in my soundtrack to my life, by the way, guys. Time, for sure.
Such a good song. Such a good song. All right, I'll bring that up, ready to go. Are we doing song first and then soundtrack, or?
Debbie! We could do the soundtrack and then we'll end with, and then I'll see who to raid. Debbie!
Sweet.
So Matt's gonna tell us the 12 songs, the soundtrack of his life. So I'm really interested in what your songs, what they mean to you.
Because I wrote this out when I was watching Tito's stream, and I haven't looked at it since. So,
okay.
except for really briefly when I got here, because I realized I wrote down artists, like a few artists, because I wasn't sure which song I wanted to choose. So I just quickly thought of one. So top of my list is the version of Comfortably Numb from Pulse, with the 5-minute epic solo at the end, and the disco ball comes down and all of that gloriousness.
Sick.
That entire album was absolutely, that whole DVD, like I said, was huge for me. But that song in particular, that's probably the greatest guitar solo I think I've ever heard. It's outstandingly good. It's 5 minutes, but you never get bored. There's always something really tasty about it. It's just, there's not enough good things I can say about it. It's epic. And obviously a very influential album.
Yeah.
After that, I put down Revelation Mother Earth by Ozzy Osbourne. Big Randy Rhoads fan. This was a tough one because pretty much anything off of Madman or Blizzard of Oz I could have put on here. But Revelation Mother Earth has one particularly tasty riff. It was a close second with Diary of a Madman, but I prefer Revelation Mother Earth in entirety to Diary. Mm-hmm. But there's this one riff, which I kind of want to play it. It's that's such a cool riff.
Oh yeah.
But it was secondary to Diary of a Madman with it.
There's slides.
Yeah, the Diary of a Madman riff is so cool because it's this huge song. I think it's a 6-7 minute song. And that riff happens for 3 repeats and then never happens again in the whole song. And it's one of the coolest riffs in all of Aussie.
That's right.
Just never hear it again. Super short. But Revelation Mother Earth was the one I went with. Just because I think Blizzard of Oz was the stronger album for me. I definitely listened to that a lot more growing up. There's a few really, really long songs in here. So I got The Odyssey by Symphony X. Was
Symphony X.
massive for me. That's about a 26-minute epic. They do Homer's Odyssey, but there's a 26-minute power metal prog epic.
Yeah, they're from New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. I haven't actually read into them that much. I just remember this song being recommended to me. There was a car ride I went on once. It was about a 6-hour car ride, and I listened to this song on repeat all the way there and all the way back. That was just
so good.
Well, he's used to long songs because being a Dream Theater fan, it's they have 20-minute songs.
Symphony X is part of the prog genre, so that's a lot of the stuff I listen to a lot.
But there's some really tasty riffs in there. The solos are amazing because Michael Romeo is an absolute legend of the guitar.
Yeah.
There's even just there's these little sections in there that I love. There's one riff where it's a triplet feel, but halfway through the verse it switches into 8th notes. And it's just this really cool switch that just kind of drives the verse a little bit more. But I love that song's incredible. I put it on just the other day and it was just this huge nostalgia hit. Just took me back to being in high school. It was amazing. I love that about music too.
Yeah, it's a time machine song, I call it.
It really is. Yeah, you can just take yourself back to a moment.
Yeah.
What else have I got in here? Hurricane by Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan was huge for me. My dad's a massive Bob Dylan fan. I grew up
Mine too.
listening to a lot of Bob Dylan, and Hurricane was always a song I really loved. Just really strong message behind it. Proof of just Bob Dylan's incredible lyric writing. I know he cops a lot of crap for not being a great singer and like all of this, but
Well, he tells a
Bob Dylan,
story
like-
in his lyrics and in the way he plays. Yeah, like I know.
I
it's
don't
like,
listen to. Yeah, you don't listen to Bob Dylan because you're looking for like virtuosic vocal chops. You listen to Bob Dylan because he has
more for-
fucking incredible lyrics. It's
Or for
poetry.
poetry, yeah. I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
just amazing.
I love Neil
So, yeah,
Young too. Neil Young
Yeah,
is
exactly.
another one. Great
Neil Young, yeah, he's
storyteller
amazing as well.
in his songs.
Yeah, Hurricane's amazing. It could have been a multitude of Bob Dylan songs as well because, like I said, I grew up on a lot of him. Flexing the Bluegrass is Memory Like Mine by Daryl Scott and Tim O'Brien. This is a really beautiful song about a guy's son going off to war, dying in the front lines, and then him dealing with that. But Daryl Scott and Tim O'Brien, Daryl Scott in particular is one of my all-time favorite artists. He's, again, just an incredible songwriter, great lyrics, can play his ass off. Like he's got all that bluegrass like chops under his belt. But then he gets in with Tim O'Brien, who does all like, I think on this track in particular, he's doing banjo, but he's just like that guy that plays every other instrument that's not guitar. And then beautiful harmonies that they hit together, just super, super locked in, like really tight harmonies. And that song just always spoke to me. I've been covering that song since I was probably like 14, 15.
Wow.
I've played it for years. It's one of my all-time favorites and probably always will be. The whole album, Real Time by them, is also phenomenal. There's one song that's just a cappella. It's just the two of them singing, and the way they bleed their harmonies into each other is incredible. List wouldn't be complete without a bit of Hendrix, so I threw in Little Wing because that was probably the biggest influence. I nick so many of those little chord licks that he throws in. All that sort of stuff. I
Isn't
love.
that like chord voicing? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's these really nice thumb chords that he grabs, but then you can kind of chuck all these little inflections over the top. Even like in Hey Joe when he does the. I've nixed that just to no end. All those little. I love it. So definitely had to throw in some Hendrix there. Next long song coming out is Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. Particularly part one. It's about, the whole song goes for about 45 minutes. I think it's both sides of a LP. But the A side is amazing. It is
It's a journey.
folk. Yeah, it's folk rock done at its best. Starts off really acoustic, really nice, and then it just kicks in these sick riffs and it just goes the whole way. It's just, it's fucking awesome. I love it. Dad got me onto Jethro Tull. A lot of my music taste was my dad. He definitely turned me onto a lot of really cool guys.
Great
And I
taste.
actually recently bought Dad the Thick as a Brick album for a birthday present because my dad used to have a really big record collection and unfortunately he lost a lot of those records. And one of the ones I remember him always talking about was Thick as a Brick. And he really wanted to like get a hold of it again because it's like a newspaper. If you've ever seen it, you open it up, it's literally a newspaper, but it's an album cover. It's really
cool.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and I found it at an op shop on my honeymoon. I was like, I gotta buy that.
Another gem at your honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly. I walked in, there was this nice record collection. I was like, I'll flick through, and I always look for Dark Side of the Moon. It's the one album I really want to get a hold of. But I was just flicking through, I was like, they've got Thick as a Brick, and I opened it up, and I'm like, fuck, it's like in really good nick, everything's good. I'm like, I've just got to buy this.
So you're a big fan of vinyl.
I love vinyl. I don't really have a vinyl player, but I love owning the vinyls of albums.
Yeah, all those classic albums that you can't find anymore. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Piece of art.
Because I got a few behind me as well. This actually didn't make it to the list. Oh, it might have actually. No, I didn't put it on the list. Ricochet by Tangerine Dream. It's another like epic song. It's like 70s electronica. It's really sick. I love it. Then I chucked in some Buck and Evans. This could have been anything off of the Buck and Evans, like their only album. But I went with Coming Home just because the solo is really nice in it. It's super just strat tone solo. And Chris Buck, like I've said before, quickly become one of my absolute favorite players. I fucking love that guy. Not off topic, but a little bit odd is the Minor Swing by Django Reinhardt. Bit of gypsy jazz.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of gypsy jazz. I can't play it to save myself, but it is unbelievably cool. Just really hip ideas. These guys straight up shred on acoustic guitars. And Django Reinhardt was the guy that started that whole thing. Plus, Django Reinhardt's story not only inspired Tony Iommi, but his story is really amazing. He lost, for anyone who doesn't know, he lost 2 of his fingers in a caravan fire. I think he had 2 working fingers and 1 kind of stub finger that he kind of used for chords. But he'd shred all this stuff with 2 fingers.
Wow.
And when you hear it, it's hard to believe it's done with 2 fingers. But him and Stefan Grappelli, they just did some really amazing stuff. And gypsy jazz in general is great. But Minor Swing's really the only song I ever learnt to play. And I always come back and try and relearn it because I always forget how to play it every time. But it's so good. The last 3 are actually all mates bands. Well, not all mates, but all local bands that have really inspired me. I've gone Meteors with Wings by a band called Creek. Creek, I was actually talking about before, they're the ones we support and always have a really fun time with. We met up with them doing a support gig, and I remember walking in watching them play, and it was just epic. They've got this real kind of prog rock, but also kind of like southern rock thrown in there. There's loads of cool slide parts. And Meteors with Wings has a banger of a riff, but I wouldn't know how to describe it. It's kind of rock, kind of psychedelic, but even getting a little bit more proggy now.
Do they have a Spotify?
Well worth checking out. They do have Spotify.
Oh, okay. So, yeah,
And,
show me out that list so I can also look them up
100%, yeah.
and put them on the Spotify list.
Absolutely. Because the guitar player of Creek, there's 2 guitar players and they're both great, but in particular, Matt Ivanek, the main lead player, is probably one of the best guitarists around. And no one knows who he is. Like, he's not like on a main stage band, and he's pretty well known around these parts, but he's unbelievably good on guitar. Like, you can tell he knows his shit. He knows everything about stuff, and he just plays really cool stuff, really hip ideas, and just, probably one of the best guitar players going around. I'm always blown away by his playing. The second last one is a mate of mine's band called Warnings, and a song of theirs called Waterboy. This mate of mine I met at uni. Actually, fun fact, I met him before uni. So I met him at the open day, and then I met him again once we started uni. I was like, hey, we made it. We got in. And he's just been a huge inspiration to me across the board. He's an amazing guitar player, just an amazing human being, and his work ethic is second to none. He works his ass off, and it's really cool to see him come out with his solo stuff, because I've seen him play in a couple of different bands, but it's really cool to see him coming out with a band that's genuinely just his. It's him and a singer, and it's some really cool shit. Waterboy is like this dirty 7-string riff. The music video is absolutely amazing. They did a fantastic music video on it. Like, well worth watching. The singer had like this really long hair, huge beard, and just committed to shaving it all off.
Oh my god.
Man, why?
Like full cue ball at the end. It was amazing.
Wow. So their name is Warning? Or Waterboy
Warnings.
is the song name?
Waterboy's the song, and the band is Warnings.
Okay, and they have a YouTube also where you could check out their
so
their
they got
video?
YouTube as well. There's a couple guitar playthroughs as well if anyone's interested in that sort of stuff.
Awesome. I love like hearing new stuff that I'm fresh out of, like I haven't heard it, and so like for me it's like and especially like people that are like more underground and getting more views and hearing them out and stuff. That's really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. He's amazing. I loved him. And then last song on the list, I couldn't do a list without this. This is probably my favorite band I've discovered in Melbourne. It's a guy called, it's 2 guys. It's an art and music project between 2 guys called Mike Mills and Salty. Always forget his last name. He just goes by Salty, I think. But the project's called Toe Hider. And
Toe Hider?
yeah. Mike Mills is straight up. Yeah. Well, Mike Mills is straight up just a fucking genius. Like, this guy is just one dude, and he writes amazing music. I don't know how he does it, where he comes from with his writing. He'll have these massive Queen harmonies. His range for singing is absolutely unbelievable. I've seen him go from like Leonard Cohen to notes that people think are like a synth, but it's actually him belting it out.
Wow.
And then he's a ripping guitar player as well to boot, but just writes really cool stuff and just kind of a genius in the best way possible.
Is that the song
but I
that
went with
played?
How Do Ghosts Work as the song because he hits the banger of a note right at the end. One where he just goes somewhere with it, and he does it live every single time, and it's just amazing. And they gig as a 3-piece.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just like a drummer and a singer that can do the harmonies as well, and they feel like these beautiful big harmonies. But yeah,
Is that the song that played every time you smashed your toe on that guitar rack there?
should have been. Yeah, I think that's 12, is it?
Amazing.
Yeah, it
That's
sounds like
a
it.
solid list, and I can't wait to hear all the ones that I've never heard before, because that's how you really find those gems that you become like your favorites too.
For sure, yeah.
Beautiful.
I'll shoot it through with like the proper names and stuff. So
Yeah.
at the moment it's pretty scrolled.
Definitely check them out, and I'll follow them on Spotify and YouTube. And I hope to see you doing your stuff too on YouTube, and
Yeah.
the vlogs and the
Keen.
behind the scenes, and also some solo stuff, because you can sing and you can play
You
and
can sing.
everything above. Like, I think you would soar. Just do what you keep doing what you're doing, and I know that people really resonate with your like your vibe, like you said, so.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
And yeah, it means a lot that you were here today, giving us this time and space. I want to thank you for giving us this time and space, giving us your time and your space, all the way from Australia. I know it's lunchtime over there, so I hope you get a nice lunch. And
Absolutely.
and when's your next stream so we can catch you this week?
Tomorrow, actually.
All right, tomorrow.
It'll be Tuesday for you. I don't know what time, but it's late. It's probably like 5 in the morning for some of you guys, but I stream Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Australian Daylight Time. So I'm not quite sure what that translates to for you, but
Well, what time is it there now?
1 a.m.
right now it is like 1:15.
So that'd be 1 p.m.
Yeah. So bit of a early one for you guys, but that's purely for the work thing.
Well,
Yeah, that's
I
the next
love
one.
catching you live, because it's always awesome in that stream. You have great people supporting you, loving you, and you have a great crowd and a great vibe. And I really know
thank you
you'll
so
go far
much.
with the whole vlog thing. I can see it. And also the band, it sounds amazing, beautiful, and I can't wait to
thank
hear
you.
more about that. So guys, give
Thanks so
him a
much.
follow. Go check him out so he can play more songs and you can hear him in his full. How many hours is your stream usually?
3.5 can go to a bit over 4, depending on sort of raids and how much I waffle on.
Yeah.
But usually goes around about 3.5 hours, which is always
Alright.
fun. Gets the fingers worn out.
Sweet.
Awesome,
Big
guys.
money, Eric.
Thank you
that he
so
just
much for
subbed
getting
you,
me on
Matt.
here as well.
Oh, he
and
just
for doing
sent
these
you-
podcasts.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, he's an amazing, talented musician. So I can already see your whole thing like just blowing up when it comes to the YouTube stuff. And I really feel like, yeah, you have also the chops and everything to do the solo stuff beyond that
Thank
too.
you so much.
So I can't wait to see you grow and get all the way to partner, because I know and see it that you are going to get to partner on Twitch. And yeah, I
We'll
see that.
see.
Yes, guys. So make sure to go over there, give him some love, give him some subs, some hype with the biddies and everything, and just let him serenade
Support
you.
this man.
Yeah, support him. Give him all the love. Because look at him. And he doesn't even know how awesome he is, which is crazy. But you are. You really
Thank
are.
you so much. Actually, fun fact, we're really close to it, but if we hit 2,000 followers, I will be doing a stream and a dress. So,
What? With some eyeliner? You got to do the eyeliner.
oh, I could do the eyeliner, but I'll be in a dress. I got to buy one.
Gonna
Oh
shave
my
your
God.
legs too?
So close. I keep saying it's because 2,000 followers should have never happened. So you're getting me in a dress, which should also never happen.
Oh my
Wow.
God. I can already see the comments and the hollers. So get ready.
man.
Get ready, honey, with that dress.
So yeah,
I'm
if
going to
if
be
I hit it, I'll
there.
probably
I
have
don't
to buy
care
the
if it's
dress.
like 5 in the morning. I will be there. Okay.
Is
I
the wife
will.
gonna do your makeup for you and the nails and everything?
Oh, I should totally get the makeup. At least the makeup. Don't know about the nails.
You will make a
That's
beautiful
all.
woman, though. Not for nothing. He would. He
I actually
got the
my
features.
mother. Yeah, I got my mum's looks.
He got
I can pull off the wimping.
Mm-hmm.
It's my mum's look. Got a bit of my mum. Getting more of my dad in there now, but I definitely had a lot of my mum's face.
Aww. Yeah,
Aw.
boys usually look more like their moms. And that's I like that. That's nice. Aw.
Yeah,
Shout
it's
out to
interesting.
mommy. You made a beautiful man with so much skills and talent, and he's gonna go far. And he's gonna wear a
Shout out
dress.
to my folks.
Both.
Shout out to
Daddy,
my folks.
Dad also with the inspiration with all the amazing
Absolutely.
music. Wow. Yeah.
I gotta say, like, just a shout out to my folks and my wife in general. They're like hugely supportive of me, and it's like, yeah, it's insane how much they've done for me over my life, and huge shout out to them. Especially
Nice.
my wife is literally like, I know it's cliche to say, but she's genuinely like my best friend, and it's
Aw,
been really
yes.
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
she
how it
told
should
you
be.
that she's the one that told you get that on your honeymoon. Like she encouraged you and
Yeah,
she supports you.
Yeah.
That just says it all right there. You know, it wasn't about
Yeah,
her. It was
she's-
like what makes you happy too. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
We understand.
Yeah, we know. We get it. We get it. Yes.
Exactly.
And we love seeing it. We love seeing couples thrive and grow and that support each other because that's what it's all about, I think. It's to actually
Exactly.
get where you want to get, you know, get the dream. And you need somebody that supports you. And if you have a family that supports you, especially with streaming, like some
Yeah.
people don't understand. And also like the parents that, you know, they come from the old school, sometimes they don't understand. But then when you show them, you're like, look everyone, look at how much everyone loves your son and goes and supports them. People that never met him before can see what you've always seen in your son, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
No,
special.
my folks are absolute legends. Just the best parents I could ask for.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love them. Gotta love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Super
So-
lucky.
All right.
So guys, we're gonna go and check out somebody and send them some love with a raid. So if you guys got any
Absolutely.
suggestions, Matt, I trust you.
Oh, actually,
Let me know
sauce.
if you want me to rate anyone on your list of peeps.
just see if I've got anyone. No more. Just the usual suspects. We've got Nega Greer, Toofy.
You can go to Greer. You want to go to Greer?
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I got one guy that might be interesting.
Who's that?
He's an absolute gem of a bloke, Canadian singer-songwriter called Charlie. Charlie plays guitars, I think he'll be.
Ooh.
I think he's just copped a raid because his numbers are up there. But
His name really popped
He-
up.
yeah, he's a hell of a singer. Really nice bloke.
Hey, he's
a
Canadian,
really nice
so we know
story
he's
that-
nice.
Yeah. There's a really nice story that I think OG would probably want me to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Essentially, I was at a blues festival when I was about 16, and this guy walked off stage and gave me, walked off stage, was doing a solo in the audience, and then just gave me the guitar to do a solo. Like, he thought he recognized me, and then realized he didn't, but then committed to giving me the guitar to do a solo. And that's how we became friends.
OG,
nice.
send me that footage on Discord a while back. That's
Yeah.
you.
That's me.
Oh my god, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
16-year-old Matt with dreadlocks.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, throwback.
And Max agrees he's awesome. All right, that's where we're going.
All right.
All right, so send me
I'll
the
set it up.
name.
Let's do it.
Yeah, set it up.
I got it.
Okay, awesome, guys. So I'm glad that you guys really enjoyed today's podcast with the lovely Matt Burrows. Make sure to give him a follow. Make sure to give him some love, some subs when you go to his channel because he's he got a lot of stuff going on with his band. I think his original was really beautiful too. He has an awesome voice,
Thank you so much.
skillful guitars, and so I'm really glad that we got to have this time and space. And I see your doggy
was really
behind
fun.
there. Oh,
Oh, Charlie's ending.
she's ending.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No.
So
All right, never mind then.
So we'll do Greer.
let's do Greer. Greer's another amazing
Greer.
person, and he's also Canadian, right? So there you go.
We'll keep Canada alive.
Love.
Yeah, we love Greer. Greer's amazing. He's an awesome person and amazing bass player.
All right.
All right, let's go send him some love.
All right, awesome.
Hype and chat.
Matt, you were amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing the podcast. It's awesome.
Oh, it was our
I'd love to
pleasure.
have you back again soon.
Yes, and
I'd love to. Anytime.
yeah, once you guys got more stuff going on with the band stuff, love to promote you. Love to have you back
Ah, thank
whenever you want. And guys, look, this man right here,
Absolutely.
just go give him some love. All right. So let's go give love to Greer. And I hope to see you next time on the podcast. Next week we have QT Drummer. If you guys don't know him, I don't know how you can't know him. He's in the drum community a lot. He's a big supporter. QT Drummer. If he's on chat, make sure to give him a follow and go to his channel to see what we're going to be talking about next week. Next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then
pick up some shirts.
Yes. And then we also have Ray Music. I know Ray, you were in the chat saying hello. And Vlad. Thank you so much, because this month we're gonna have three more drummers, okay? Max, thank you so much for the sub. Hey. How many months now? 9 months. Oh my God, did we just have a Twitch baby, Max? I don't know how many months it's been. Tier 3 to Max's stream.
Wait, I didn't condone this.
All right, guys. We're going to go and make sure to follow everyone here in chat, because everyone here is amazing. You know, I only love amazing people, and you guys are all amazing. So much love, and I'll see you on the next stream.
Take care.